And welcome to Movies, Music, and Mayhem. I'm your host, Rachel Silvestrini. Welcome back to all of you returning, and welcome for the first time if you're just checking this out. So thank you for that. We have a really fun guest today. I was so excited when he joined the Schmodown. I was even more excited that I got to be in his first match, even though it went badly for him. It was one of the most talked about matches of the season. A few choice key phrases have been brought up from it. But guys, it is the one and only Vinnie Mancuso.
What's going on? I'm so glad you brought up our controversial, much talked about, hotly debated match that I thought was going to have no problem when it was over. I was like, that was fun.
Right.
People were saying, yeah.
I literally had the clip on YouTube, like the link for that clip about explaining why Empire was the correct answer, not Return of the. It was ridiculous. I literally had like that prepped and ready to send to everyone, and I'm like, no, you need to watch the scene. This is.
I mean, I absolutely would have if I had gotten the question right, which I didn't. I would have said Empire Strikes Back because I haven't seen Clerks in. I don't know. I don't think I've seen Clerks like since the 90s.
Oh, I haven't seen it in like 2 months. So
yeah.
It may be on a regular rotation for me, but you know. And I did wear my jacket for you.
I don't know where mine is. I feel like it's bad. I feel like whenever I like think about just wearing it casually, I'm like, no, it's gonna be bad luck. Even though it's like I've lost 3 times now while wearing it, I'm still like, no, it's bad luck if I wear it. Probably bad luck if I do wear it at this point.
I mean, you could always try it out for the next game, but
I was thinking of trying to like change it up, but then the season happened, and I was like, never mind. I was like, I'm just gonna do the exact same thing I did last year, and it seems to be working so far.
We just turned into Harold and Kumar. We've come too far.
Like, that was pretty much it. Like when I first like got drafted, I was like, okay, it's gonna new season, we do like a bunch of cool new stuff, and then like the first match came up, and I was like, I'm just gonna do a blender and jacket again. that was easy, and it's in my apartment. I don't feel like leaving, so apologies to anyone who wanted a brand new ice pick. You got the same old ice pick.
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
I realized that I didn't have my mic plugged in, and I was like, let's fix that and try and be sly about it. And no, there's nothing.
It was incredibly obvious. No,
no, Chris is right. Yeah, I actually haven't seen Clerks 2 in probably about 6 months. But
I actually, I don't know if this is like controversial, but I think I like Clerks 2 better than Clerks. I haven't seen either of them in a long time. Don't get me wrong. I've seen Clerks 2 more recently. But I think at the time, whenever the last time I saw Clerks 2, I was like, I like this better than Clerks.
I mean, I feel like it was. It's one of those like you can't appreciate Clerks 2 without having Clerks.
Yeah,
but also like the basis of which was laid for the adoration of Clerks 2. Like
yeah, like if Clerks 2 was Clerks, it probably wouldn't have been as big of a thing,
right?
But like Clerks is Clerks and was like this indie phenom, and then you got to make Clerks 2, which is kind of more of a celebration. So that's fair. I don't know. I haven't thought about Kevin Smith this much in a long time. I tried to watch. I watched this is, you're gonna think this is insane. I watched Chasing Amy for the first time.
How did you feel? How did you love it? Tell me everything.
I liked it a lot. Well, first of all, I've been to Red Bank like a million times, so it's so funny that it's just like set in Red Bank. So I was like, oh, that's where I like watched fireworks as a child. I liked it. I had always, everyone always said, that's his first series movie, and I was like, I don't know if I want this. Like the way it was pitched to me by so many people, I was like, I don't think I want to watch that, but I liked it. I thought it was good. I feel like I would put it up there in one of my favorites of his.
Yeah, I think Chasing Amy has some of the funniest lines that people forget about.
It's way funnier than I thought it would be. Because I don't know, like everyone always told me, like, yeah, you gotta watch this Kevin Smith's like serious movie. And I was like, that sounds terrible. Why would I watch Kevin Smith's serious movie? It's not. It's funny, but it's good. I liked it a lot. It's. I think Dogma's still my favorite Kevin Smith movie, but
yeah, it switches. Depends on the day. What day you find me on. It's either it's either Dogma or Chasing Amy, because Chasing Amy is just so perfect and also has lines like Nubian, bitch, you almost made me laugh. Like that entire.
And I don't know how I hadn't seen it. Like, there's really no reason for me not to have seen it. It's just one of those things that fell through the cracks, and it was one of the last ones of his I haven't seen. I think the only one I haven't seen is Cop Out, which is like, why would I need to?
I mean, it's worth it just for Tracy Morgan. Like, just for Tracy Morgan, it's worth it. And then you get to watch and see, like, literally just the disgust building in Bruce Willis's eyes.
Honestly, that's such a turning point. I feel like that movie, like, erased Bruce Willis' brain. And, like, he just hasn't been a human being ever since. He was like, I hate acting. Like, I don't ever want to act again after this film.
I hope that's not, like, the Tracy Morgan effect.
Yeah, he just hated being in a car with Tracy Morgan. You're just like, I never want to do this again.
Yeah, just all of Kevin's stories that I've ever heard him tell about the filming of Cop Out. It's either Tracy Morgan's hilarious and then Bruce Willis is angry.
Like, I hate seeing her. Yeah, it was a mess. It was a mess, and it kind of, I don't know. I have never had any desire. Like, I've scrolled past it a million times. Like, is tonight the night I watch Cop Out? And no, I have not reached that night yet, and that night has not come, unfortunately. But I have endless time now, so maybe one day I'll finally just like, I'm watching Cop Out. I'm completing my Kevin Smith filmography.
Yeah, it's not terrible. But it's the worst of his movies.
I love that I love when people pitch movies like that. Just like, it's not the worst thing you'll ever watch.
Well, I mean, considering that most of my favorite movies are like shit movies, like movies that people dump on, I'm like, but they're so much fun. Like, it's one of those, like, they know they're bad movies, but it's so much fun to watch and it makes you laugh. Like,
I always tell people, if there was a trash slice on the wheel, movies that are just like objectively trash, I'd put it on every time and I'd sweep. I would sweep the league with the trash slice, because I don't know, I'd like, if there was just like questions about obscure 80s horror or just like terrible 90s slashers, I'd rule the league, but those movies don't get asked about a whole lot, unfortunately.
I mean, if we have a slice for the Oscars, why don't we have a slice for the Razzies? That's all I'm saying.
Exactly, or just like under a certain Rotten Tomato score, like a sub 10 Rotten Tomato score. I was gonna say 20, but I was like, that's too high. It's like, give me like the bottom 10 to 0 Rotten Tomato score. I put it on the wheel every single time.
Could you imagine the amount of people objecting just so they could check the current listing of Rotten Tomatoes? The challenges, like, if you think Christian is tired of the challenges already, you just
like pull up Rotten Tomatoes, or they would be like adding a positive review during the match just to bump up the score. That has 11% on Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah, that's but I'm with you. Like most of my, I have my favorite all timers that are like, okay, yeah, those movies are pretty good, but like the movies I watch, just trash. It's I watch a lot of trash. I don't know what to tell people. That's what brings me joy.
The number of times that I have seen 21 and over, like, should be a crime. I unabashedly love that movie. I actually got a chance to tell, or the opportunity to tell Skylar that I absolutely love that movie. And he was like, you would. I'm like, oh, yeah. Because we'd been talking for like 20 minutes and I was a little drunk and a little like starstruck because everybody just kept coming on the show. And I was like, by the way, I have to take this opportunity and tell you I love 21 and over. He goes, yeah.
He probably doesn't get it a whole lot. Right? It's probably really pleasant to hear. I don't know. These people do these things as jobs. It's like, it's nice to know somebody like that.
But it's so funny. Like, well, there's that response of like humor and, gratitude. And then there's, being yelled at when I told Adam Brody that I loved Grind because speaking of another trash movie.
Who doesn't love Grind? That was such a formative movie for me.
I love Grind. Grind is like the quintessential like early 2000s like
absolutely
road trip coming of age movie. Like the fact that hasn't come up in coming of age makes me real sad. PJ, let's get on it.
Get to the grind.
Those questions for my match because I'll be real pissed if you add them and then I don't get them.
Oh my god, that's the thing. Whenever I'm watching someone else, I was watching a match and I saw someone get a questions about killer clowns from outer space. I was like, I can't get a question about killer clowns from outer space. Are you kidding me? Like, of all the movies, how? Oh my god, because the movies you're watching, like, they're never gonna ask about this. But if they did, I'd answer like any 5-pointer they had. And then somebody else gets it and you get it wrong. You're just like, you've never seen this obscure, stupid, terrible movie?
There was one question about Out Cold, and it was asked while I was in studio, and I was like, I literally like threw up my hands and stormed out of the studio. I'm like, this is bullshit.
I love Out Cold. I remember that movie used to be on Comedy Central like daily. It was back when like the Comedy Central didn't really have like The Office or anything, so they would show the same movie every day. And oh my god, I love that movie. I've seen the movie. I've seen the movie. Like I've seen the movie more than like Casablanca, like Citizen Kane. Like I've seen like way more than any classic film.
Yeah.
I think it's the first time I ever saw Zach Galifianakis and anything. I was like, this guy's
that was the first time that was his introduction. I'm real sad that I'm finding out about this now because I did a watch along with Ash in January. And because she loves that movie almost more than anybody else I have ever met.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. She is the champion.
I mean, I feel like the three of us could have a really fun like three-way, not like that, guys. Get your minds out of it. That's a three-way trivia match for just Out Cold.
Oh my god, it's crazy because I haven't seen it in a while, but like the stuff I do remember, just like and it's funny. It took a while before somebody pointed out. They're like, that's like it's like loosely based on Casablanca. And I was like, shut up! I thought you were joking. I was like, that's not. And he went through the plot points. He needed to go to the plane, and I was just like, holy shit, it's Casablanca. It's a brilliant movie. It's a brilliant movie, and I feel like it's so underrated. For like, I don't know. I don't know. When did it come out?
2001, 2000.
Yeah, who even knows?
Year that was perfect. Who cares? Trying to where is it on my shelf? Oh,
it's definitely early 2000s. It's not 90s. It's it was the part of the early 2000s that still felt like the 90s, but like a little. So I would say like
2001. It was 2001.
2001. So yeah, I certainly didn't see it in 2001. I caught it like 8 years later, but once I did.
Yeah, I saw it 2001. It was perfect, and then 2003 hit with Grind, and it was like the perfect combination. Like it's one of my favorite double features of all time.
I was just going to say that would be an incredible double feature.
Well, I'm doing a watch along in June with Grind, so come and join Ash and me, and we'll revel in Shinedown and The Used and.
I was such a big The Used fan. I bought that album. I can't remember the name of the album. I have such a specific memory. This is going to date me like horribly, but I have such a specific memory of buying one of I bought one of their albums at Sam Goody, and it was before I was allowed to buy explicit records. So I took the price tag and I put it over the explicit record, like the thing that says explicit, and I was like, wow, this album's like for kids, like this, and like that was the first like explicit album I was allowed to buy, and I can't remember the name of it. It's really bothering me. I can picture the. Was
it just The Used with the picture of the mannequin on the front?
It was the one after that. There's like it's like a heart hanging from a tree.
Oh, in Love and Death.
In Love and Death, yes. And I bought that. I think at the same time I bought a Less Than Jake. It was a good day for me at Sam Goody. Less Than Jake.
Really good day at Sam Goody.
And something else. This for some reason this was like, I don't know, almost 10, 15 years at this point. I have such a vivid memory of going to the Sam Goody at the Bridgewater Mall in Bridgewater, New Jersey, buying the Used album. So yeah, that was I love the Used. We're gonna go back to the early 2000s.
I mean, I'm always willing to go back to the early 2000s. I remember.
God, I wish we could go back to the early 2000s.
Seriously, right? Although I did see a TikTok from some girl that was like, "I'm so sad I wasn't born in this era," and then like started showing like Scream. Oh my god, what the hell is going on? I'm hearing echo.
Hello.
Do you hear an echo?
I don't hear an echo.
All right. Well, guys, if you're hearing an echo, let me know. And now it went away. But I'd seen them a billion times, and then I went to see them in Baltimore. No, in DC at the 930 Club. And my friends went down to Mosh, and I was like, I'm feeling old and tired, so I'm just gonna sit. Like they have like a little like upper balcony area with its own bar up there. So I went and old womaned it and like made friends with the bartender because I'd been traveling through there, and she remembered me. So she kept sending me drinks like every like half hour. Because she knows I do.
I don't think I ever saw them, which is wild.
Oh my god. Yeah, I just remember sitting up there and just like sobbing because their songs like meant so much different to me than they did when I first heard them when they first came out, 15 years before. And oh man, plus Bert is just like a snuggle monster. I love him so much.
No, I don't think I ever saw him, which is why I didn't go to a lot of concerts for a long time. I didn't go to concerts until I was in like high school, which is wild. Like I didn't start going to high school. But like midway through high school, I thought concerts were like I don't know, something that like adults went to. I didn't know that you could just like buy a ticket and go to. I was like, oh, like I don't remember what the first concert was, but I remember just buying a ticket and going and being like, oh, this is like something you could do on a weekend. Like we could just like get some beers and go to a concert. Well, let's do this one. So yeah, I completely missed a lot of bands that I should have seen in the early 2000s.
What do you remember as being your first concert? Please tell me it's Britney Spears and NSYNC.
It's not. No, it's not. It's not that. It's such an embarrassing answer. It's Puddle of Mud at like right when they were huge, when that song.
You waited for me to do that.
Like that song, she hates me was like huge on the radio, and like me, I honestly think me and my friends were like in 8th grade, and we were like, this song's incredible. They say, fuck, like it's so cool. Like we gotta go see them. And yeah, I saw them, and then I saw Breaking Benjamin like the next year, and then I didn't see the concert. Something about the double bill of Breaking Benjamin, Puddle of Mud turned me off the concert for like years.
There's a video on Cracked, their YouTube channel about they do this thing where they lock a bunch of their writers and stuff in they all go like on a retreat to like a house in the middle of nowhere, and they do as many skits as they think they can. There's this one where 4 of the guys are sitting around this table playing poker, and all of a sudden one of them goes, he's like talking about his ex or something. He goes, yeah, dude, she fucking hates me. And all of a sudden one of the guys is like, dun, 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 dun. And one of them ends up calling their moms, and they're like, what do you mean you thought I knew I was in Puddle of Mud? So
that song was huge. Practice. It was so cool. They cursed and it was on the radio, and you're like, oh my god, there's a song with fucking it on the radio. It was, yeah, I was young. I don't know if you could tell, but I was super young. We went to see Puddle of Mud. And yeah, for now and ever, my first concert would be Puddle of Mud. 2Ds. Wow. It was a good time. From what I can remember, I think somebody made a sign. I was just like, I don't know, whatever, like an 8th grader would say to Puddle of Mud.
Oh my god.
And like our parents definitely brought us. It was at Starland Ballroom in
New York.
No. Starland, there's a lot of ballrooms. Roseland is in New York. Starland is in New Jersey.
Oh.
I think.
There's been a lot of time between those two.
Between New Jersey and New York, there's like 8 something ballrooms. Yeah. Starland Ballroom is in the middle of nowhere in central New Jersey. It's where I've seen a lot better bands there than Puddle of Mud, but I've seen I saw Thrice, I saw Thursday, I saw Coheed there twice. I saw a lot of good shows at Starland, but one of them was unfortunately
you know, I don't know if I sound sacrilegious for this, but I think I prefer seeing Coheed in outdoor venues.
Interesting. I've never been a big fan. Depending. I love festivals just because you could be like boom, 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 just like bouncing between like bands you love. But that's not true. I've seen people in Coney Island. It's like been incredible. So I'm not picky. But
well, I mean, yes, the sound tends to get blown around a little bit depending on where the venue is. And I'm also a little spoiled because I'm usually like with a backstage pass.
Yeah, I feel like when you say
stand like side stage or like
when you say see people at outdoor venues, you mean like you're behind, like you're like there, you're on the stage. When I say see people at outdoor venues, I mean like I'm packed into like this mud bowl next to like 8,000 people. I feel like it's a very different experience.
Although I do miss that. I will say this. One of the best experiences I've ever experienced in a crowd was my friend Kathy and I went to Chicago for what's the one? It's not Skate and Surf anymore. Bamboozled.
Oh, Bamboozled, man.
Skate and Surf. Wait, what was
Skate
that?
And Surf isn't Skate and Surf like what became Warped Tour?
Yeah, no. Skate and Surf was like a 3-day festival in New Jersey. I'm thinking of Riot Fest. That's the one. Riot Fest.
Never made to Riot Fest, unfortunately.
It's so much fun. But we went there one year, and brand new, as controversial as they are, still a fucking great band. Also, I know it's he's a shitty human being.
You just
but the band
gotta.
is so good.
I know they were another one. They were a big part of my earlier years. I used to listen to a lot of brand new.
Well, we went to go see them, and they were on a stage that was literally, because it takes place in a park. The crowd area was on a softball diamond, and it had rained in Chicago.
That actually sounds sick.
So we were literally in the rain, arms around each other because it's brand new, and it's like group therapy. Like ankle deep in mud. Everyone's keeping each other up from like sinking into the ground. And it was one of the most amazing things.
Yeah, I do miss festivals in general. I used to go to them a lot more. It's because I only been to Warped Tour once.
You've only been once?
I know, it's weird. It was one of those, but I used to go to Bamboozle a lot. I went when it was originally at the Meadowlands, and then it moved to Asbury, which was kind of cool. But yeah, I just miss like the experience of going, drinking a little bit, and then you're just like for like 6 hours, just like shuffling from band to band. It's all shit you like want to see. It's just a full day. Like you pack in 6 bands you've never seen into one day, and I miss that. I don't know if you've ever been to what the fuck is it called? Firefly in Delaware.
Oh, in Delaware? No, I haven't. I haven't had pleasure yet.
That is the like grossest shit I've ever done in my life. But it's like because you can't. There's no showers or anything. And it's like Delaware in the summer, and you just go to the campsite. You sleep in a tent, and then you walk over like through this like little elfish woodland area, and then you emerge from the woods, and there's just like stages everywhere. And you spend a day in the sun, and you go back to your nasty tent. You do it for 2 more days. So it was gross, but it was a lot of fun. That's where I saw the Black Keys. I saw Red Hot Chili Peppers, The Killer. That was. I don't know if I would do the camping experience again because it does get very grimy. There's not a lot of bathrooms. There's no showers. Everyone's sitting in tents. But you do some drugs and drink, and it's and you're in the woods. You're in the woods.
You talk about that stuff, and I'm like, yeah, I want to get back to going to concerts. And then I'm like, no, I want to get back to working concerts so that I know that there is a porta potty backstage that 10,000 people haven't tried to shit in or shoot up in.
There's some stuff about that I would prefer stay. Like I miss concerts. I don't miss a lot of that, but I do miss live music in general. I just miss like listening to fucking live band.
I did get to go out to Bamboozle for to New Jersey for a skate and surf. It was 2004, and like I just remember when the list came out, it was like somebody took my CD collection and because we had CDs back then. Took our CD collection and was just like, everybody gets to play. And I was like my birthday, my 20th birthday was the first day of the 3-day festival. And like, we were friends with a bunch of the bands. So we were like, hey, we're coming out from California. They're like, you're not coming out. And I got, do you remember the band May?
Yeah. M-A-E.
M-A-E.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So Dave, their lead singer, they were on tour in California in February, right before then. And that was when the list came out, and we were like, we're going to go. And he was like, you're not going to go to Jersey to come see us. And I'm like, well, we're not coming to see specifically you. Like, we're coming to see everyone because everyone was there. And he bet me that if he saw me on Friday before his set, that he would make the crowd sing happy birthday to me. So that's how they started their set.
You had to go. There was no choice. There was simply no choice.
I was like, of course I'm going to get you to sing. Have you get 2,000 kids to sing happy birthday to me? Like, fuck you. Yeah.
That's incredible.
It was great.
Yeah, I remember the first year I went to Bamboozle. I don't remember what year it was, but like it like you said, like it was like I had all the CDs I bought at Sam Goody. I had it in that little flip thing, and it was like somebody like took that from me and was like, "That's the lineup." And I was just like, and I think that was the first time in my life I ever like experienced anything like that because I was really young at the time, and like I didn't really go to like a lot of shows. Like that changed that. I went to that Bamboozle and was like, I want to go to like every concert available. And like that I think that's what made me recover from Puddle of Mud when I was like 12 years old.
that just renewed your faith.
Yeah. Puddle of Mud was not at that Bamboozle. I don't think they were a band anymore, unless they're still a band. I don't know.
Which band?
Puddle of Mud.
I don't think I don't think they played Bamboozle.
Apologies to the members of Puddle of Mud if you're still a band, but
I'm
I left
pretty
my
sure.
fans
I'm pretty sure they.
Your show.
Pretty sure they
they're
understand
like,
the
they're
sentiment.
probably like 50. They're probably like in their 60s, and they're just like, yeah, we're not
Yeah,
rock
probably like late 50s at this point. Oh my God, let's not play that game.
Yeah. I don't think about how old Puddle of Mud is because it'll make me think about a lot of like other things. How old am I? Like how long ago was that? I don't want to think about it. Let's get off that track.
I had an asshole friend message me because we all have those asshole friends that mean the best but are just have no tact. And he messaged me on my 35th birthday. It was like, "Congratulations, you made it halfway to 70." And I was like, "Existential crisis."
Those words.
Like, oh my God.
I don't want to think of myself in relation to 70 at all. I'll never be 70. Are you kidding me? That's not even a thing.
Yeah.
70. I thought that about like 25. I thought that about 30. Like we're getting old. We're getting up there.
We are.
Especially when I see like
I have a birthday in like a month. But it is the holy Kevin Smith birthday. So I'm 37.
37? It's not that age. Again, like I feel like because we're young, we think that's old. But 37 is not old. Are you kidding me? Like,
well, I mean, to quote a special movie, it's not the years, it's the mileage.
It's the mileage. The mileage.
And
the mileage is there, folks.
The mileage is extensive with 17 years of touring. And Chris, I'm really, really jealous of you for this. The last concert was Jacob Starlin.
I believe that, but did I ever see Good Charlotte? I was such a big Charlotte fan when they were huge. I mean, there it was. And if you say you weren't, you're lying.
Yeah, you still know all the lyrics to Lifestyles of the Rich and the Famous, or to
maybe you didn't like them, but if that song or if like the anthem comes on, you're jamming. Come on. We all lived through it. You don't have to be ashamed. Like,
because this is the anthem. Y'all throw your hands up.
I would see them now. They're probably all married. They have like 6 kids, but married to Hillary Duff. But yeah, they're like everyone's vaccinated. Who wants to see Good Charlotte? I'd be like, I'm never saying no to anything like that again.
They were living here in the Bay Area when I think Lifestyles first hit the radio. And it was like just hitting the radio. And I remember Benji and Joel came into the movie theater that I was working at in the middle of the day, like middle of like a Tuesday or something like that. It was the summertime. We weren't very busy. And like they walk in and all I see is like our 15-year-old girl at the concession stand, like starting to have a panic attack. And I was like, what is going on? I'm like, oh, it's them. Like my friends work at Guitar Center. They're in there all the time. I see them all the time. So I like run over and I'm like, I'm the manager here. Go to your seats. I'll get your credit card and I'll do your transaction for you because she is going to probably leave a puddle on the floor. Like,
if you don't leave this room, this girl is going to die.
Yeah, or she's going to kill you.
And swear you're
I'm like, I have aggressive love, so I understand. But yeah, it was real fun. They were real sweet about it. They're really nice guys. But
I like when nice people find success. It's better than like when shitty people find success. So
which is nice because we're trying to push those out. So
yeah, like it's almost scary to sit publicly say you like something because it's like who knows? Like I'm like afraid to get more tattoos. I'm like, what if this tattoo one day like what if somebody finds like old Douglas Adam tweets even though he's been dead he's been dead for like 20 years? What if they find out he was racist?
He just finds a secret racist diary.
Yeah, Douglas Adams was super racist.
Wow, he really hated white people.
Yeah, Jesus. I'm just like, God damn, this is permanent. What are we gonna do? Yeah, it's tough out there for liking things. So it's hard to like.
It's really hard to like things because people are such shady bastards, and you never know what they're into. Or how horrible of a person they are deep down. But then again, they could be like Dave Grohl. Like, honestly, if anything came out about Dave Grohl, it's one of those human beings that I'm like, this cannot be correct.
There are certain, there are certain tiers to it where it's like, okay, some people I'd be like, well, if they're just an asshole, that's okay, whatever. Right. But like, there are people like Dave Grohl where it's like, that would shatter my perception of reality. I'd be like, well, I don't trust anyone anymore. I don't have friends. I will never speak to my family or friends again because I don't understand the human condition, I guess. Yeah, there are certainly tiers to these things.
I think it's Dave Grohl and like Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks. And then even with Tom Hanks, it's like, what's up with that weird son? What's up with what's up with Chet Hanks? Why is that guy so? Why does he do like a fake Rastafarian accent? What happened there, Tom? You never seen Chet Hanks? Tom Hanks is like very strange like rapper son who like does videos in a fake Rastafarian accent.
Oh God!
And it's like you see him and you're like, were you raised by Tom Hanks? What happened there? Was Tom Hanks an absent father? Did you not have did Tom Hanks not love you enough? And it's like I don't want to go down that road. His other kids are good. It's just he fucked up with Chet.
You can't have a family of all normal people. Like there has to be one.
I guess if you have more than like 2 kids, one of them is going to be like the weird Rastafarian like rapper. That makes sense. Yeah.
Or like a serial killer. One of them just going to be off a little.
Not every family can be all Tom Hankses. You're going to have a Chet Hanks occasionally, unfortunately. There will always be a Chet Hanks, unfortunately.
Now there's a shirt.
There will always be a Chet Hanks.
With just a picture of him dressed up in a
Try and be a Tom Hanks. And even if you miss, you might be. What's his other son?
Oh my God, Colin
Hanks. Even if you can't achieve Tom Hanks, at least you'll land at a nice Colin Hanks. It's like, oh, good for him. He's pretty successful. He gets jobs.
He was in Jumanji.
What more could you need? There are certain movies where it's like, once it's on your resume, what else would you need? You can tell people you're in Jumanji. I mean,
as a kid who grew up in the 90s, you understand the love of Jumanji. I'm assuming.
My grandmother bought me Jumanji, and I was mad. I was like, get this! I'm not playing that because I was super young, and I was like, I'm not gonna play that. Are you kidding me? Did you watch the movie?
Oh, she got you the actual board game.
The board game. Yeah, the board game. And I was like, get this out of the house. You bury that. So again, that's how young I was when Jumanji came out. But yeah, that's another one where it's just like, that is a formative movie, and I will watch Jumanji whenever it's on. And I was happy the reboot-ish thing wasn't terrible. It was good. I liked it.
I mean, you can't go wrong with the cast that they have. And also, if I could just get Jack Black playing 14-year-old white girls for the rest of my life,
he kills that movie.
Oh my God.
He's another one. He's another one. If something ever came out about Jack Black, I'd be devastated.
Yeah.
He's such a nugget. He's such a good guy. He's just precious.
I mean, he became like when I decided to move back to LA after I retired from touring, I was like, I'm gonna find me my Jack Black in LA, but not like Jack Black because that's stalkerish, and I don't do that anymore.
Jack. That's gone. That's the past.
Let's keep rolling. No, I mean, I would find I wanted the Jack Black character from The Holiday.
Oh yeah, and because it's just like a certain vibe, like a certain just a good energy. Yeah. Jack Black energy. Jack Black energy is something to strive through as a man and as a human being. I would
100%. I mean, he's so jovial and wonderful and just kind-hearted. It's just the best.
So Jack Black, please, if you have skeletons in the closet, just keep them secret.
just never ever let them out. Make sure.
Wait till you die, whatever.
Well, wait till I die.
Yeah, I don't want to hear it. So
I don't want to hear it.
Whatever you need to do once I'm dead, Jack Black. If you're listening, wait till I'm dead.
Or people who are listening that have shit on Jack Black, just wait till we die.
Yeah, don't tell me. I don't know.
Please don't tell me.
Don't release it.
See, that's why my tell-all autobiography isn't coming out until after I die.
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah. I'm not going to deal with all this bullshit. I'm just going to release all the stories and name names, and it'll be fucking chaos.
And I won't be around to see it.
I don't got to deal with.
Okay, just dropping a bomb, leaving.
Yep, exactly. It's going to be like my will.
But with the reality of living. I'd read it. I'm sure you have plenty of stories from your time on the road.
The amount of stories that I hold back is ridiculous and disturbing. So you were talking about bands that you really want to see. What if you could put a lineup together for your dream first concert out of quarantine? Who would it be?
Dream first concert out of quarantine. That's a good question. Well, I mean, this is a boring answer because I've seen them like 15 times, but I feel like I've seen Coheed so many times that it would be so refreshing. It would be like going to see my friends again. Like it would be like hanging out with my friends again and be like, oh, I get to go to another Coheed concert. Like that's amazing. I would.
I mean, well,
so like
PJ
right out of quarantine,
right next to you, so
that would be incredible. Honestly, like there's plenty of bands like I haven't seen yet where it's like, oh hell yeah, when quarantine's over, I'm gonna go see them. But like right out of quarantine, if I could just go to a Coheed concert, just fucking like weep for an hour and like just release all that would be like better than therapy. Like that would. So like I would set that up, and like they always have good openers. The last time I saw them was with the Deer Hunter, which is another band, which is another band that I love. But yeah, there's there's so many bands I haven't seen where it's like now that we've been stuck inside for a year, it's just like, why didn't I go see them? Like why did like they were in my town, like Manchester Orchestra. I love that band. And so there have been so many times that I've like could have gone and seen them. And I've just been like, well, I'm busy, watching movies and stuff. I'm busy being inside. I don't want to go see them. I never saw them, and I would love to see them. Stuff like that. And then I would like to see Bruce Springsteen one more time because he's not young.
Yeah, we definitely need
one more time in before my New Jersey God finally kicks the bucket. Although he's in great shape.
Let's say kick his feet up.
Because before he finally calls it quits. I guess I didn't have to go straight to before he fucking died.
Super fucking dark.
Yeah. Man, I went to go see. There's this band, Southside Johnny and the Asbury Jukes, who play a show in Asbury every 4th of July, and I go every year. And this year, Bruce Springsteen showed up. It was just like at Asbury, and so like I miss it. That's a tradition. We always go to that concert every year, 4th of July. It's like Stone Pony. It's right on the beach. And like the fact that was like one of the first things like this year or last year where like they were like, okay, the Southside Johnny concert's canceled. And I was just like,
yeah.
And what's the point of living? Like, what are we even doing? And like that was because it was July. It was we had been inside for a while at that point. We were all still kind of clinging on to the idea that it's like, well, things will go back to normal soon. Things will go back to normal soon. And then they were like, that concert's canceled. And I was just like, we will never leave our homes. Like this is yeah, that if they do that next 4th of July, I will be there. Or I guess fuck this 4th of July in like 2 months. I will be there and I will be just straight weeping the entire time.
Yeah, I think that venues, when they do start allowing shows back in, they need to get sponsored by like Kleenex and just hand out those little travel packs, because like people are just going to be sobbing.
And with just like strangers, I'm gonna be like touching a stranger's face, just like, look at you, you're so close.
Like I'm so close to each other.
Yeah, like look what you feel like. This is incredible. Not in a creepy way, not in a weird way, just in like a holy shit. You're another person.
Like, and lick strangers' faces. It's fine.
No, that I mean, we'll see what happens when we all get vaccinated. But like start with,
not at the beginning, about halfway through the concert.
Exactly,
when the third beer's kicked in.
Let's like learn each other's names. Like but then yes, yeah. Like once we get to the third act, we can things will get very, very strange. Things are gonna get strange. I was talking to someone today, just like. So we're talking about like what we wanted to do after quarantine. I'm like, everybody's gonna lose their fucking minds. Like, there's gonna be like 3 months of just like poor decisions.
It's going to be the biggest orgy the planet has ever fucking seen.
I feel like if you like, I was comparing it to like when you were in college and like the first nice day of spring, everybody would skip class. It's gonna be like that, but like for the fucking world. It's gonna be like the first nice day is gonna be the first day everyone's vaccinated, and it's just gonna be like the entire world is gonna be worldwide debauchery. And I hope everybody stays safe, but like, God, we all need it.
Like one of my love languages, like one of my major love languages is touch, because I'm Italian. which makes it even more so.
Yeah, just
and like
even just talking to people, just like, you know, like shoulder bump and stuff like that. Yeah, I completely.
You know, when we first met, I hugged you, even though we were in LA and people tend to bristle. I don't care. I'm like, you're going to accept my hug, and it's fine. You'll love it. It's fine. But at this point, I'm so touch deprived that I'm literally just going to be walking through people and just like grabbing hands or like holding faces or being like, I love you so much, hugs.
I feel like concerts are going to be like especially just because everyone's going to be all, you know, emotional about the music, going to be emotional about being outside for the first time, going to be emotional about like touching another person's shoulder with their shoulder. They're like, I swear to God, the first time I have 2 people like next to me, it's going to like hit me as if they like proposed marriage. I'm going to be like, oh my God, you feel safe enough to stand within 2 feet of me.
Yeah, and I have like a slight hope that one of the things, because you know when they were talking about like the vaccine coming up, you know, all of the lies about what it does to your body, kind of hope that one of them is true and that it makes me sterile because I don't want babies and I'm not looking to have
I hope one of those side effects is real. We'll see what happens.
Maybe even if it just affects me in that one way, that's totally fine.
Everybody stay safe. We are not endorsing anything dangerous, but look, everyone's thinking it, so don't beat yourself up for what happens when we all get vaccinated, because we're all going to make some poor decisions together. The only way to make poor decisions.
And it's going to be so much fun. I legit cannot wait for that first in studio taping.
I'm so mad, man. I got into this stupid thing and was like, I was just like, I don't really want to like do the Schmodown. And then I did one and was like, holy shit, like I really want to do it. And then like the next like day, like I think the day I decided I want to do another in studio match is like when the coronavirus started. Like, no, you will not be coming, because that March was going to be amazing. That March I was supposed to go to South by Southwest for the first time with like the dream work team. It was like all my friends. We're gonna get like an apartment in Austin, just watch movies, drink and eat brisket, fly back, and then like the next day was the free for all, which was supposed to be my like debut, even though our match had already been taped. And I was like, holy shit, I can't believe all these amazing things are happening, and then wiped off the board. Literally like a day before we were supposed to leave for South by Southwest everyone was like, don't leave your house. And I was like, this was supposed to be the best month ever, and now it's possibly the worst month ever. I saw the last movie I saw in theaters was Bloodshot, unfortunately, and I saw Christian there, and we were like, we're so excited for the free for all. I was like, yeah, man, like, are we still doing it because of this whole thing? And he was like, I think so. And I was like, okay, awesome. And like, no, it did not happen. And
I just loved like the 19 emails that we kept getting of like every time that they changed the restrictions for people indoors, they were like, okay, so we can do 100 people, so we're gonna have all the competitors there, and everybody's just like gonna be like spaced out a little bit. And then it was like it dropped down to 15. They were like, okay, so just competitors. Come in at your allotted showtime, blah blah blah. And then it like dropped to
touch anything.
And then they were like, okay, so you can only come in at your time. Don't touch anything. Walk straight.
Don't say any words out loud. Like, don't breathe. And I remember talking to Haley at the time, and I'd been like, it was when this free for all was still supposed to happen. We were like, we can't do this, right? Like because like we were like watching the news and stuff, and like this was right before it got canceled, and we were like, we can't like justify doing this, right? Like, and I was like, but I really want to.
I know. It's like, but what if we just did it this way?
Yeah, like what if we just did it like real quick? Like then we all quarantine. Fine,
that's what my ex-boyfriend said.
Yeah, like, that's the amount of times I've said we just did it like real quick. Like, yeah, it's didn't cancel it. Now it's just like, thank God, because like I would have did it. Like I, it sounds so shitty to say, but like,
no, it needed to be done.
If we had done like the super safe version, I would have been there, and like we all get sick. And, yeah, I'm glad we did do it, but I was bummed. I was like super bummed. It was supposed to be the first thing I ever technically did. But who knows? Maybe it was meant to be. Maybe I would have answered no questions right and gotten booted and never played again.
Hey, I got 2 questions right, and I was out. I was the first person out last season, and then last year, or 2 seasons ago. Then last year, I was like, because my number and Rachel Cushing's number had gotten confused, and we had both gotten her number. And so then I got a different number, and I was like, sweet, I'm going to get a better number. And instead of getting 5, I got 2.
Yeah.
I was like, cool.
I had so little room below me. You couldn't bring me up at all.
Yeah, I was like, just a little, like, I don't want to be the first one out. Like, that was like my goal. And then I was like, nope, I'm done. And then just drank the rest of the day.
I did that horror one and got like 8 out of 10 questions right, and still I got booted. I was just like, what the hell? That's the best I've ever done. like I was so mad because I was like, that's like by far my best performance, and I just lost. So I was just sitting there like, what the fuck? Like,
she's like, this sucks.
that was stupid. I was like, that was stupid. What the hell? I did so good and I lost. What the hell? So yeah, that was. I'm glad I at least got to do that. That was fun. I mean,
the horror free for all was fun. I was pretty proud of my 3 points. So
it's tough. Literally, like 3. Any other time, if you answered 3 out of 5 questions right in anything, you'd be like, all right, did pretty well. Nope, somebody answered 4 and you lose. That sucks.
Well, I know. I think they all answered 5. Like, I was technically out by question 4, and then Christian was like, "Well, let's just do this one." And I was like, "Great, thanks for the pity question."
Thanks.
I really appreciate it. I
was already out for the last question, and I got it right. I was just like, "Yeah, here's your right fucking answer. Bye, everybody." I got it right. Correct. Bye. This was fun. I spent 10 minutes doing this, but no, I did enjoy doing that.
Glad I put on makeup and like actually dressed up for this.
Yeah, I had blood all over me.
I know you and I and like 3 or 4 other people were the only ones to dress up, and I'm like, guys, it is a horror free for all in October.
I got booted from the StreamYard. I got booted from the StreamYard, and I was just sitting there covered in blood, like, what the hell, man? I got all dressed up for this. I thought I would be in this for way longer. So yeah, that was fun. But yeah, I hope to be doing more stuff this year. I don't know if you can even do this. Have you got a match? Have you filmed anything?
I have not gotten a match confirmation yet, but mainly because we're not doing teams yet.
Yeah.
And my singles record is 0-3. So I'm waiting for a lot more people to screw up and lose their matches so that I can finally have a singles match.
I'm the second to last ranked competitor in the singles division.
Really?
So I'm in the fucking basement. Yeah, I'm 1 and 2.
Am I patting you underneath? Am I?
I don't know. I remember who's underneath me, but I remember like I just wanted to see like if anyone else was 1 or 2, which they're not. I guess that's like the hardest record to get. But I just happened to notice that I was 31 out of 32, and I was just like sick. Like
on the website.
On the website, yeah. So
I'm not even on that for the singles. So.
No, that's now I feel.
Hey, you know what? I've lost to Paul Preston, John Roca, and Liz Shannon Miller. Like
I thought it was crazy. Man. I just want to state publicly that all the managers are dumb as hell for letting you go as far as they did. I was like, what the hell, man? Who are all these? I did not have a good night that night, but yeah, I didn't like how that went.
It got a little emotional towards the end, but it worked out.
I can imagine. Yeah, I had plenty of conversations that night where it's just like, first of all, who the fuck are all these people? Second of all, like, I don't know.
But I think
again, this is all about a movie trivia league that I wanted like nothing to do with. It's just like, do that? Are you kidding me? Like dress up and answer movie trivia questions. It sounds stupid. And then I did one match.
When you came out during our match, like I remember you made the margarita and we're drinking it beforehand. And then we're waiting behind the curtains and you still have the margarita. I'm like, are you bringing that on? You're like, yeah. I'm like, great. I'm going to still sip. You remember drinking out of other people's stuff? I was
just going to say, like, everybody took a sip of it. And that feels that feels like a science fiction movie now. The fact that I let everybody take a sip of my margarita is like, my brain has been fucking rewired. I'm like, I can't do that now. Are you kidding me?
I've turned into Cusco from Emperor's New Groove. No touching.
It reminds me of Demolition Man, where they do high fives like this. Like it's so weird. I love high fives. I'm such a big high five fan. It's funny though. That's the only margarita I ever actually blended I find it. I've had like a few people be like, "Why are you drinking a non-blended margarita in a blender?" And I'm like, "Because I think it's really funny. Because it tickles me. I think that's funny. I don't know. There's no reason for it. I could put it in a thing, but
no, it's perfect. It was absolutely perfect.
It makes me chuckle. But yeah, that match was a fun match. I had a good time.
we got to yell and scream at each other, and well, Christian and Mark, but
it's just so funny. The Schmodown fans they're the best. They're so nice.
They are.
They are somehow aware that it's a show without being aware it's a show. Like they're so aware of it, but then something like that happens, and they're just like, "Oh my god! Like how? Like what a horrible thing to say!" And I was just like, we went to a bar afterwards and like drank beer. Yeah. And I thought it was funny, and it was like
we shared his margarita right before we went out on right before we went out of the table.
I am not mad at these people. I was never mad at these people. I wasn't even mad at them like in the game. I thought that's what we were supposed to do. I thought that was in the rules. But yeah, that was a fun match, and it was the only match I ever got to in the studio, and I'm like pissed about it because like I don't know, because I feel like it's hard to play over a computer. Like it's so weird to be doing this just like in my bedroom. Like
yeah. Well, they say that doing it digitally like this gives the rookies a leg up because they have been doing this in the fan leagues for so long. But I'm like, yeah, but once we get back in studio,
it'll be interesting. Like because I know people always talk about the lights. It is so different. Like I get perfect rounds all the time from my couch. Like I get 10 out of 10 all the time. But when you're on even like digitally, it's different. So like when you're sitting there, like and there's people in the audience and there's actual lights on you and they're like these big fucking cameras and like there's like you're not thinking about the movies in your head. You're half thinking about it. So it'll be interesting. I think some people will be fine, but it is a lot easier to think when you're sitting in your bedroom. It's just true. I don't know. We'll see.
I just miss RB3's laugh during certain questions.
That is wonderful, man. It's funny. I don't think I've ever actually met RB3, but like his laugh is just delightful. So like I like him as a person.
He's just an angel, is what he is. He's just
good man.
Glorious.
Good at what he does. He's a good man.
So what have you been watching lately to keep your brain?
Let me look at my Letterboxd because I watch so many movies that like I like watch movies and don't know. I've been trying to watch a lot of stuff I haven't seen before. So like I don't know. I watched yesterday I watched Justice League, which
I'm sorry.
That movie. I watched Training Day yesterday. I've never seen Training Day.
Interesting.
Which is insane. Yeah, I have like there's not a lot of major stuff I haven't seen, but the ones I haven't are like, why haven't you seen that? It's just like, I don't know, man. If a movie comes out and I miss it, it never comes back. I never go back to watch it. So I don't know. I had never seen, this is an insane one. This is the one of people like, how is it possible? I had never seen Lethal Weapon. I'd never seen the movie Lethal Weapon. I don't know what to tell you. It's weird.
Wait, like you've never seen the first one, or you've never seen any of them?
I had never seen any Lethal Weapon movie, and I'm only admitting this because I've watched them now. Like if I would never be like, yeah, I'm never gonna watch Lethal Weapon. I have seen them now, but yeah, I don't know. It's just one of those things where it's just like I feel like most of my movie watching when I was like a kid was just like whatever was playing on TBS at the time. So like I've seen all those classic TBS rerun movies, but like I just never saw Lethal Weapon. But I have now. Good movies. I get it. I get what. And I don't know if there's anything else that was like crazy. Chasing Amy.
Yes, that makes me really happy. It's also funny when you watch it and you're like, they're like, it's New York Comic-Con 3, and you're like, what?
Yeah, I was just like, what are we on now? Like fucking 50? Yeah, I think that's like the major one. I've been rewatching a lot of Hitchcock just because I really like Alfred Hitchcock, but I haven't seen it since I was very kid. So I watched like North by Northwest and Notorious and stuff like that. I'm a big Hitchcock fan. I'm just deploying my strengths. I don't care, whatever. Like,
I realized recently that I've never actually seen North by Northwest, and I don't know how that happened.
That's so many movies though. Like you've seen so much of it separately that you're just like, I've seen that movie, but like you haven't. You haven't seen it like, you know, like front to back. That's kind of like, I'm trying to think of a movie like that for me where it's just like, that was me with The Prestige for a long time. I mean, I saw that movie a long time ago, but before I saw it, I had just like talked about it so much and seen so many scenes that I was just like, yeah, I've seen that movie. And then I watched it all the way through and I was just like, oh, I've never seen that movie. I thought I did. It's a good movie.
Nerd Chronic's in the chat. Hey, bud. First of all, guys, let's just pause and give Nerd Chronic a fucking round of applause for all of the amazing work he's doing. You are so fantastic and so talented. And Jesus Christ, do you need a GoFundMe for like Coke Zero or something like that? Like, we want to take care of you and make sure you don't die.
Although my opening promo for my last match, I did mention that I did not appear in season 7 roundup at all. So what's up with that?
Don't anger the gods.
Okay,
but
I only won once.
It's true. But Eric, we do have a request for a video chronic quiz between me, Vinny, and Ash for Out Cold. If you guys ever want to throw that together,
I would love it because first of all,
it would just be us drinking and having a blast. Thanks. I do love Vinny working into his disdain for his lesson.
It was disdain. It was disdain. That is the right word. Yeah.
I think in order for it to be disdain, you have to sneer a little bit.
I think I sneered. I think I definitely sneer as my Schmodown persona than I do in real life. I don't really sneer in real life, but I think I probably sneer in this Schmodown.
Yeah, I definitely sneer in Schmodown.
I was upset. I wanted to be in the promo, Eric. It's fine. It's
well,
fine.
He says that you did cut his favorite solo promo so far this year.
Oh,
so
that's nice. It's Drew.
Hey, Drew.
Oh, Drew. What's up?
Love her.
I don't know how to talk to someone who's only in the comments.
I know. It gets weird. Also just saw The Prestige. I actually watched it last night. I'm not joking.
Well, this is weird. So, like, you're like the 5th person. Did it just come onto some streaming service or something?
I don't think so.
Or is there just like something weird in here where everybody's watching Prestige? I love the movie. I love that it's like about magic, and then the twist is that magic is real and like and invented by David Bowie. Like it was just like you're like, oh, what's the secret? And the secret is magic is real. He does real magic. He's a real wizard. You know? It's just like sick, awesome.
And it has to be David Bowie. Like if it wasn't David Bowie, it just would not be believable. It would just not work.
Don't think I knew David Bowie was in that movie the first time I saw it. So like when David Bowie just fucking like emerges from the mist like a top hat, you're just like, this is the best movie Christopher Nolan's ever made. And Andy Serkis is this little like fucking assistant man.
David Bowie with jowls though. I was like
David Bowie.
I was like, he has such hollow cheeks.
I do like that movie. I haven't seen it in a while. I kind of was down on Christopher Nolan for a while because I thought Tenet was just terrible. So I was just like, he's a bad director, but he's not. He's made
amazing movies.
He's made amazing movies, but his last one wasn't good. So it's dead to me.
Yeah, I still haven't seen it yet. It's one of those that I'm like trying to hold out until like before my first match tapes, just to be like, just in case new releases is on the wheel.
That's fair. It's kind of funny because like I could try and tell you what it's about, but like I could literally try and spoil Tenet for you and not do it because I don't know what the fuck happened. I know that I watched it. I know who's in it. I know who's directed it. I don't know. I still do not know what the fuck happened in the movie. And maybe that's I don't know. Exactly. That's how you get magic, as invented by
Bane.
David Bowie.
Bane, David Bowie and Bane.
That's kind of a trash movie that I like more than other people. I love The Dark Knight Rises, even though like kind of suck. Like it doesn't suck, but like it's kind of a bad movie.
It ends and you're kind of like,
huh. Well, first of all, Joseph Gordon-Levitt is going to die like immediately if he tries to become Batman. Like he's just a cop, man. Like he's so tiny. Like he's not going to fit in anything. because Christian Bale is so much wider than him. And he's gonna die. Like he's gonna be like, all right, first night is Batman, and get murdered like immediately because he's not a ninja like Batman. So yeah, there's that. Whatever Tom Hardy's doing, which is incredible. I love him because he's not bad at acting. He's not bad at acting. He's good at whatever kind of acting he's doing.
I mean, I really loved him in Legends.
Yeah, like Legend, Bronson, like his young baby Tom Hardy before he just started covering his face for every role. But yeah, even in like, is he in Tenet? Not in Tenet. He's good in Dunkirk. He's good in. Have you seen Capone?
Yes. Oh my God, he's so good at Capone.
He's shitting his pants like all.
Why is he so good at Capone though?
It's such a weird movie. It's such a like Josh Trank did Fantastic Four, ruined his career, and came back and was like, I'm gonna make Tom Hardy shoot his pants like 5 times and shoot an alligator with a golden machine gun. Everybody go watch Capone if you haven't. It's and don't message me afterwards because you will be super mad.
I loved him in oh my God, what's the Guy Ritchie movie? Why can't I recall it? On Plain as Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, and that's not it.
Lock, Stock, and
no, not Lock, Stock. It's the next one.
Smoking, Snatch.
No.
Aladdin.
That's the one. God, it still hurts my heart knowing that he did that one.
All his movies blend together for me. So like, or like not all his movies, obviously.
Rock and Rolla.
Yeah. See, like that trilogy right there.
Love that movie.
Those movies mixed up all the time. Like I've seen them. I liked all of them, but like I don't know.
Well, I mean, he plays a gay man who is in love with Gerard Butler, and it's the night before he's supposed to go to jail, and so he takes him to a dance hall and lets him dance with him, and it's the sweetest scene.
It's beautiful. It's really nice.
It's so adorable.
I haven't seen that. I haven't seen any of those movies. The last Guy Ritchie movie I watched was The Gentleman, which we did Collider was invited to a edibles dinner and then a screening of The Gentleman. So like me and Haley went and just got like high as balls. Just like, and it's so funny because the guy in charge of it was like, yeah, like these are, they shouldn't be too high. Like it was like this like really fancy edibles, like this edible thing. He's like, yeah, like it should be enough of a balance where you won't feel it. And we were sitting there in the theater like, shit. And like I was supposed to review it, and I was just like, I hope I fucking remember it. And so yeah, I wrote the review, and it's just like, full disclosure, I was high as shit when I watched this movie. Sorry, and I liked it. I don't know if I would like it if I wasn't, but I thought it was funny. I thought it was humorous. So yeah, that's kind of what I miss about moving back to the East Coast, is I don't get invited to edible screenings anymore.
And to be fair, they don't exist anymore. So
that's
it's
true.
not like you're missing them.
That's true.
You're not missing out on them. You just are sad that they no longer.
I just miss them. I miss them. I miss the one time a movie studio just like gave me a bunch of weed and then was like, enjoy this Guy Ritchie movie that's kind of racist. And I was like,
do you think that they would do that if Pineapple Express was released now?
Oh, absolutely.
Like, do you think that they would do like the edibles and stuff? Because it wasn't really a thing legally when it first came out.
True. I don't think they would do it if it wasn't legal.
I mean, because it wasn't legal back then, they couldn't do it.
But do you think like if Pineapple Express came out now, yeah, they would, because The Gentleman was only like tangentially about weed. Like they like, it looked like they were looking for like any excuse to do this. So like if the movie was like actually about weed, yeah, absolutely. And I would love to go to it, but again, the world is over and they don't do that stuff anymore. Drew asked, do I like dags? I don't know what that means. Do I like dags?
Do you like, is it dogs?
Dogs? I do like my dog.
Where's your beautiful pup? Who's so ugly? He's beautiful.
He's just stomping around. Oh, he might be going to bed. I gotta catch him. Conan, come here.
Guys, you know my deep, deep love of dogs, but I have a deeper love of dogs that are just ugly as sin. Oh my God, look at the face.
Conan.
That is Conan, guys. Oh my God, he's so pretty. Look at that underbite.
He wants to go to bed so bad. Conan, come here. Look at me. He's all worked up.
He's so pretty. Oh my god.
He's doing good. He's like 12 now.
Oh my
He's an old man. He's old. He's blind, but he's still kicking. He's still walking around.
What a snuggle bug.
Yeah, I had to like run after him because he's putting himself to bed. He was like, "I've seen enough."
It's like I'm out. I'm good.
But I like Dags. Don't know.
Dags, you know, woof woof. Yes, Dags. We do love Dags here.
Yeah, this is a pro
Dags. Or Doge or whatever you want to fucking call them. If it's got a tail that wags and a cold nose, I'm all for it. And
I was so happy that we moved into we moved into a dog friendly building, and I guess we're the only ones who like brought an old dog because everyone else in this building moved in and just got puppies. So like this building is just full of puppies. Like, every time I leave my apartment, I see puppies, and it's a lovely existence because then I have my old fucking tank. It's just like, get away from me! Like I'm so old.
So you basically got the Clint Eastwood from Gran Torino.
Absolutely. There's a dog run on the roof, and there's like benches, and he likes to hop up on the bench and just like scream at anyone else that comes near him. He's just like, "Get the fuck away from my bench, man!" Like that's what he does. That's what he enjoys doing. And there's like so many like puppies that'll come up to him and be like, "Hi," and they're like, "Get the fuck away from my bench, man!"
Back off. You haven't smelled what I've smelled yet.
Yeah, exactly. He's lived a whole life. He's like, you don't get it. You don't fucking get it. Yeah, he's doing good. He's doing good. He's doing good for an old man. I'm happy. I'm happy he's still kicking.
That's good to hear. You still got the mohawk going?
Kinda. It's kind of morphed into like, real hair, but it's still clearly a mohawk. But I don't know. I thought about just shaving it.
No.
To make my life easier. But I don't know. I've had it for like a year now. So it's like at this point, this is just what I look like. Like when you first get a mohawk, people are like, "Ah, cool, like you have a mohawk." Now I talk to people and they don't, they're just like, "Oh, it's Vinny. He's a mohawk." So yeah, I'll keep it. I don't know. For as long as I'm doing this schmodown thing, I might as well.
Yeah. I think you and Sean need to get together and like take band photos, but like because like he was in a band, he plays bass in a band, and he has this hair that like just morphs into whatever. So every now and then I'll be talking to him and be like, "Can you do Scene Boy hair for me?" And he'll like pull it down and it's perfect. I just want photos of the two of you.
Occasionally it becomes like it like with against my will, it becomes like I'll just be be on
outside her window
like this right here.
Radio.
Exactly. Or if like this is up in the back. And I'll just be on a Zoom like with my coworkers and not realizing that I look like I'm in AFI. And I'm just like, it doesn't even occur to me. And then I'll look in the mirror and be like, "Oh no, like I look like I used to when I was 14.
I look like she's 1994 Davy."
But whatever, man. We're all stuck inside. We are all reverting to our most like basest forms. And my most basest form is someone who bought a used CD at Sam Goody in 2002.
I think I met that part of myself a few months ago and then just kept going and regressing.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't even know where I'm at these days. Like my roots are so long at this point. I'm like, do I bother bleaching them again? Like I kind of want to, or do I go like a dark color? It's getting to the point where I might just shave my head again.
Do it, man. Why not? Hair grows back. That's what. There's somebody like when I first did this, people were like, "Why'd you do that to your hair?" I'm like, "Oh, like
because it grows.
It grows back. Like I don't work at like Goldman Sachs. Who cares what I look like? Like I don't have to look presentable for my job. One of the benefits of my job is like no one gives a fuck what I look like.
And also, why wouldn't that be presentable?
Yeah, exactly. Like I don't know. So yeah, hair grow back, shave it. Why not?
What movie are you looking forward to coming out more than anything else?
Oh, God, I'm so excited for Godzilla versus Kong, even though I know it's going to be terrible.
But you mean the story is going to be terrible because the effects are going to be fucking phenomenal.
Who gives a shit? One of the reasons I like movies is because of Godzilla. Like I was like somehow as a kid, before I really loved movies, got super into Godzilla. I loved all those old Godzilla movies. Then naturally does that. I got super into King Kong. So like those are like my big gigantic like movie dads. Godzilla and others. So like I have I have like nostalgia for Godzilla and King Kong that people have for like Star Wars. So the fact that we're just still doing big budget Godzilla movies and King Kong movies is just so wonderful. I wish I could see it in IMAX, but
yeah.
I'll do what I can do. But yeah, I'm so fucking excited for the movie. And somehow I didn't see this coming. I'm so excited for the Mortal Kombat movie to come out. Was not expecting to be excited about that. But that trailer like whipped ass. I was like, okay, good for you. And then somebody did a set visit for us. I don't even know who it was, but all the things they were saying, they're like, it's gonna be the most violent movie ever. We're gonna have the best fights ever. I was just like, is this movie gonna like be amazing?
Good.
So yeah, I am super excited for that. But I don't know, it's kind of weird because pretty much every Warner Brothers movie that's come out on HBO Max has been bad so far. So I'm like, did you do this because of the pandemic, or did you realize that your entire 2020 slate is bad? And we're just like, just put on HBO Max. Like Wonder Woman was not a fan of that. Little Things, not a very good movie. Tom and Jerry, not a very good movie. We'll see how the Snyder Cut is. All 4 hours of Snyder Cut. We'll see how that is.
I'm just planning on popping an edible before that one because I did not like the original.
If I eat an edible before that, I will not make it through all 4 hours of that movie. It's funny because I was talking to someone about like watching it before work, and I was like, I'd have to wake up at 5 in the fucking morning. like if I wake up early for work, if I wake up at like, I don't know, 6, it will still be going on. It's 4 hours long. So we'll see about that. But hey, look, I hope it's good. Nobody wants to sit through a bad 4-hour movie.
Yeah, no.
If I have to watch it, I hope it's good. So we'll see. Mortal Kombat has a very low bar to be entertaining. Are you saying that the old Mortal Kombat is not a good movie? Because if so,
I mean, I kind of agree. The original Mortal Kombat was one of those it's so bad it's fun and entertaining movies. Like it was not a good movie. At all.
Love that movie. I love the old Mortal Kombat movie. Maybe it's because I saw it when I was like, 5 or whatever when it first came out. And like I definitely had it on VHS. That was a big VHS for me. But I don't know. I wouldn't say it's a good movie, but like in terms of just like when did it come out? Like 98?
97, 98, somewhere around there, yeah.
Yeah, like capturing like that very specific shitty 98 action movie, it's like perfect for me. It is a bad movie. I will admit it is a terrible movie, but God, I love the movie.
Yeah, it's so bad. I love it too, but it's not like we can just make the movie again now and enjoy. I mean, if they make it, it's 95, really?
So it was super young when I saw it. Yeah, maybe I love the movie because I was like 5. First time I was just like, this is the best movie ever. This is
and it was also a video game that, I mean, I was 11 when it came out, so it was one of those movies that like I wasn't allowed to play the video game because it was so violent, considered so violent for that time. And like, so it was interesting to watch the movie and love it for how terrible it was. But now this one is coming out on my birthday. Like the release date is on my birthday on April 16th. So I'm like, I'm going to get fucking drunk, get stoned. We're going to do a view party or something. Yeah, it's going to be a great fucking day. And I had been planning on like just doing like a Kevin Smith run, but I'm like, I have to do this now. Like,
yeah, no, they released this for you. And like you can't give up this opportunity.
You know what the last one that was released on my birthday was that I remember is The Punisher.
Well, like the original Punisher?
The original one.
Well, the last one
my 60th birthday.
Oh man, did you go see it? Were you like, hell yeah, fuck Punisher birthday, baby?
I mean, I only saw it because I worked at the movie theater, so I was screening it. Fair. So like I had to check the print because back in the day they were on like film, and you had to make sure that they weren't damaged. So I had to do that the night before my birthday.
The last movie that came out on my birthday was Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, which is a very bad movie, in my opinion. I did not like that movie. I don't know if other people here enjoy that movie. I was not a fan, and I was super excited for it. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to go see a Star Wars movie on my birthday. And I was just like, fuck. that wasn't even good. Yeah, exactly. I was so excited. And I was just like, oh,
You just walked out. You're like, okay, who's buying me an ice cream cone? Because I need to be happy right now.
But it was like a midnight screening, so it's just like, well, nothing's open. I guess we'll go home. It's like midnight on a Wednesday, and
You could have stopped at McDonald's and got like a little ice cream cone.
Like a sad little ice cream. Yeah, I guess. But yeah, I remember when it got announced, I was like, oh my god, they're gonna release the Star Wars movie on my birthday, and I really like those first two movies. I Force Awakens and Last Jedi. I really like those movies. So I was like, okay, we're bringing it home on my birthday. JJ's back. I like JJ Abrams. I guess I like Super 8. Super 8. Yeah, it's not bad. He's the worst character. And yeah, I was not a fan. So I don't know. Maybe you just don't go see movies on your birthday. You just set yourself up for disappointment.
That's sad.
Yeah, that was way sadder than I wanted it to be. Go see movies on your birthday. I'm sorry.
Just brought down the whole fucking show.
Just stay home on your birthday, or else you'll be disappointed.
Just protect yourself. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Don't try and do anything. You'll never be disappointed.
You sound like my dad. No, that's a lie. What movie have you discovered? Have you either rediscovered your love for during quarantine, or like have watched for the first time and have been like, I can't, like, I love this movie so much?
I don't know if this fits your question, but it's a movie I like can't believe I hadn't seen, which was the movie Virtuosity. Have you ever seen that movie with
wait, which one?
Virtuosity.
Oh yeah, with not Cameron Crowe.
Russell Crowe.
And Denzel Washington,
yeah. Terrible movie, but like the type of terrible movie that I love. Like it's one of those movies where it's like I can't believe I hadn't even heard of it before Tom Ryman, Tom from the Showdown, he brought it up one day, and I was like, that sounds incredible. Like I need to see that, and it came out on so like that is one of those movies where it's like you know how you just like miss these not so famous movies that came out and like they were bombs and you had never heard of them. I've been trying to catch up on those movies, like movies I hadn't even heard of, like who knew that Russell Crowe and Denzel Washington did this sci-fi movie? Like I didn't, and I watched it and I was just like, oh yeah, this is so much fun. Like I've seen American Gangster, I've seen Training, like I've seen his famous movies. It's like, okay, I'm glad I've seen Virtuosity now. I've got really into
it. Is really fun in how terrible.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's
so
terrible.
bad,
and it's like right at that point where we just had not figured out how to do like special effects. Like I feel like people have been getting really ambitious, with their special effects, but like we had not figured it out yet. So like they were just like throwing shit at the wall, and it was like
a 12-year-old daughter who has like a 16-year-old sister who like tries to dress like their 16-year-old sister, and they're like, look, I'm a grown up, and like
they had the technology was there to like try it, so they were like, hell yeah, let's go for it, and it just did not look good. But like we were figuring it out. We figured it out. Like we got there. Avatar, like we got to Avatar. We reached it. We got there. I've also really gotten into their names are Benson and Moorhead, Aaron Benson and Justin Moorhead. These two directors who did they did a movie called The Endless, which is really good, and they just did another movie called Synchronic with Anthony Mackie and Jamie Dornan, and they're gonna be doing Moon Knight. So they're like famous now. They're like the next indie guys who made the leap to Marvel. So I was like, oh, check out their movies, and they're like great. So The Endless is on Netflix. I highly recommend it. And Synchronic is on Amazon, I think. So I've gotten really into them. That was something I was like, oh, I've never even heard of these guys, and now like I'm a big fan. And they're on their way to success, so I'm happy for them. Nice. But yeah, I like shit. Like I'll like never have this much time inside again. So like I was like, I remember like a few months into this, I was like, okay, we're doing it. We're watching all the fucking movies we've never seen. We're gonna watch Lethal Weapon for the first time, so I can like talk to people in public again. Yeah, I think that's the biggest blind spot I've ever had. I think the fact that I hadn't seen Lethal Weapon is something I had to like keep to myself and like just like pretend I had seen. It's just it's weird to have not seen Lethal Weapon. I can't explain it. I have no excuses.
Well, I mean, it's like Brandon Hanna had never seen Top Gun.
Wow, that's a big, like it's movies right? Like that. Like you think to yourself, how have you never seen the movie? But like fall through the cracks, man. I'm trying to think of like another. Is there any movie for you that you're just like, I can't believe I've never seen that movie?
I've been working really hard at it. It took me, I'm not even joking, like 27 times to get through Gone with the Wind because I would just rage quit. Like I would rage stop the movie because she's so infuriating, and I'm just like, you are why it took so long for us to get the vote.
Gone with the Wind is one of those movies where like you have to watch it because it's Gone with the Wind. But I will never be like, I like Gone with the, like I've seen it and I'd never watch it again. I never want to watch Gone with the Wind again. It's like 8 hours long, super problematic, it's super annoying. Everybody in the movie is annoying, and you're just like, I'm glad he left you. Like you were
it's one of those things that like so I love American History X. I love that movie. I think it's fantastic. I've seen it probably upwards of 50 times. I have never opened my eyes or unplugged my ears for the curb stomp scene. I would rather watch an hour of the curb stomp scene in continuum rather than rewatch Gone with the Wind.
Yeah, I can't like I'm like I can't imagine a scenario where I'm like, hell yeah, throw on Gone with the Wind. And like I get it. I get why it is what it is. First in color.
I'd be like, no, just shoot me right here. Just down a little bit. Make sure you get all of the cortex.
Like again, I don't think I've ever like met somebody who's like, I like Gone with the Wind. Like, have you ever met somebody who's just like, yeah, I love Gone with the Wind. I watch it all the time. I'm not even gonna watch it. I had a few like hours to myself, so I threw on Gone with the Wind because that's my comfort movie. Like I've never met somebody who, if anybody who's watching this is like a huge Gone with the Wind stan, please speak up
Please speak up so we know that you are a trash human being. I cannot stand that movie. It is awful. Let me check my checkout movies. I don't think I have. I mean, there's like a lot of like the Akira Kurosawas that like, you know, like a lot of like the 30s and 40s movies I haven't seen. I don't think I've seen Metropolis all the way through. But I did a lot of work during the downtime of like filling the gaps that I had, watching the movies that, you know, had slithered through the old cracks. And then there's just like a ton of movies that I'm like, I haven't seen this in like a decade. Maybe I should watch it again. No, I don't think I have much. I do. I did realize that I hadn't watched my favorite movie that I've rediscovered or that I've discovered was Arsenic and Old Lace.
Wow. So that's I've seen it, but not I couldn't really tell you anything about it. Like I've definitely seen it, but it's like
the funniest thing. I laughed so hard. I'm like, I want to get into acting now just so I can like portray like I want to get this movie remade and I want to be one of the murderous aunts. Like I want to be one of those ladies that just poison men.
I feel like it's such a good genre, like just like scheming murderous ants. Just like I feel like we need more movies like that.
The scheming old ladies.
You know it's a big one. That this is kind of Lethal Weapon-esque level. I had not seen Singing in the Rain, which complete like I it's one of those movies where it's like I had seen and heard so much of it that I was like, of course I've seen that movie.
Yeah.
Then I finally watched it all the way through and was like, is that the best movie ever made? Like, I was just like, it like complete like I didn't. It's like I expected to obviously like it, but I was just like, I think that's like the best movie I've ever seen. Like I was not expecting it to like blow me away. Like it, so that was something I watched in quarantine where I was like, okay, let's get this out of the way. Let's watch Singing in the Rain finally. And then I was just like, that's like one of my favorite movies now. That was incredible. And I was like, I want to
start from the beginning. Let's do this again.
I was just like, I want to watch more movies like that. It's like that was unexpected. I didn't expect that to rise so much to the top of my list. But yeah, like those, like you said, like the Akira Kurosawa, he has like I've seen his major movies, but he has so many movies, and they're like so hard to find that I have not seen a lot.
And now that there's a slice, thank you so much. Now we have to.
Yeah, and it's not like, you know, it's not like I know a lot of cast members in Akira Kurosawa movies. Like with like even older someone like Hitchcock, it's like, well, at least I know those actors, you know. Like with him, it's like I don't know any of those actors. Like those not actors I would know. So it's a tough one. I am excited to see somebody spin that, as long as it's like not me. because I don't want to spend that.
As long as it's not me, or as long as it's not the person I'm playing against who sweeps the category.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like I feel like I know so much about his like 5 most famous films that if I spun it for the first time ever, I could probably do. If I was the first person to ever spin it, I could do well. But if like 6 or 7 people spin it and I get it,
done.
I got that. Yeah, like I could tell you a lot about like his like I said, 6 most famous films. But anything beneath that, it's a tough one. It gets a lot harder. But we'll see.
Asking questions in about languages that you don't necessarily speak.
That's the thing. Like even if I don't know, you could skim plot stuff, or you could like you can't like watch his movies. Like they're not in English, so like you have to watch it, and you have to like really memorize the names of the people because they're not names you're gonna remember. I don't want to spin that fucking slice. So that's all I know. Because
I don't think anybody's like, oh my god, so excited that Kurosawa got a slice. Like,
that's the thing. Like, I love.
It's definitely somebody that we should be aware of as movie fans, like as cinefanatics and stuff like that. Like, he deserves all of the praise. But Jesus Christ, oh my god,
like he's made a lot of movies. Like it's like if you're asking deep cut Kurosawa questions, I'm out. I'm out. Yeah. So
if that's where the league is going, you'll find me in the FCL.
But again, I was actually talking to someone about the Showdown. They're like, I like doing it because it makes me watch movies that I would like. I've watched so many rom-coms that I would never watch, but I was just like, I've never seen this, and it's on. Sure, I'll check that off the list. Why not? Like I think around Christmas, Ghosts of Girlfriends Past was on. And I was just like, I've never seen that movie. Maybe I'll get a question about it one day. Let's watch it. And I watched it. 90 minutes of my life. It was funny. I like Matthew McConaughey. There you go. And I never have to be like, I'm now a person who has seen that movie. Like,
check that off the list.
It's like, why not? It's as long as it's like a movie I haven't seen before. It's like, why not? Why not watch it?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been.
Have you found any rom-coms that you've been delighted by their by the performances?
I don't know. I really have been watching a lot of rom-coms just because like that's one where I've heard so many of the jokes and I've seen some of that. Again, it feels like I've seen these movies, but I just haven't. Let me go through my letterbox again because I feel like there was at least one where I was like, that's a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that movie.
There was somebody was talking about what's the Woody Allen movie that everybody touts as like his most famous Annie Hall. Everyone's like, oh, it's such a great rom-com. I'm like, there is nothing romantic nor comedic about this movie. This is a dream sequence for a narcissistic, neurotic man that this is how he wants his life to turn out and got to write it that way.
That's another one where it's like, that's one of the, it's like, it's just accepted as a a classic. And I get why, but like, again, I don't see a scenario where I'm like, hell yeah, throw on Annie Hall. This movie I really enjoyed, About Time with Rachel McAdams and Dom Hanal.
Domhnall Gleeson.
I really like that movie. I had heard, first of all, I heard it's not that good from somewhere, and it wasn't ever on my radar. And then one night we were trying to decide what to put on, and I was like, I'd never seen that, and she was like, yeah, I really like that movie. I was surprised. I really enjoyed that movie.
I mean, anything with Bill Nighy in it is going to be fantastic.
That man has an accent that nobody else on earth has. It's just like the Bill Nighy accent. I don't think I've ever heard another human being sound like him.
I mean, I remember going to see, what's the first Pirates movie he was in? Was it Dead Man's Chest?
The second one?
Yeah, it was the second one's Dead Man's Chest. And he comes on, and underneath all of the makeup and the CGI, I saw his eyes and heard his voice. And in a packed theater, I was like, "Oh, are you okay?" I was like, "It's Bill Nighy." They're like, "Who?" I'm like, "Bill Nighy."
Yeah, he's one of those dudes where it's like,
I'm like, "Oh my god."
He's done every single kind of movie, but you're never mad when he shows up. You're just like, hell yeah, it's that fucking guy. Like he's in Underworld. He's like an evil empire in Underworld, and you're just like, hell yeah, of course you are. But he's also a super nice dad in About Time, and you're just like, of course he is. He has the range.
He's also an ex-cokehead rock star in Love Actually. Who dances and sings on New Year's Eve naked, because of course he does.
Oh my God, every time that movie gets brought up, I think about how I lived in an off-campus house with 7 other guys in college, and I got a notice from the government because I illegally downloaded Love Actually. And so my roommate, we're all hanging out. My roommate comes in and he's like, "Who the fuck illegally downloaded Love Actually and got caught by the FBI?" I did. So it was bad enough that like I got a letter from the government, but it specifically said the name of the file on it, and it just said Love Actually. And I was just like, it was me. It's Christmas time. I wanted to watch it.
Please tell me they framed that next to your picture.
I wish I've had that conversation before. I wish we saved it because that's the funniest thing. Like it was like 7 college dudes, and we were all just like, okay, which one of us illegally downloaded Love Actually? And I was like, it was me. And somehow, I guess my IP address got, so that can happen.
Yeah,
I thought it was a myth. I thought that no one ever got caught, but apparently they do. If you download fucking Love Actually, college. I mean,
well,
yeah. Anytime it comes up, I think about that. And it's
wait. Am I unaware of this? That Nerd Chronic and I have the same birthday?
No,
Godzilla vs. Kong.
Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah. But that does mean Nerd Chronic's birthday is super soon.
Yeah, that is
30th.
Yes,
I think so. Which is
it's already almost mid-March, so that just like blows my head open like crazy. I'm like, weren't we just being glad that it wasn't 2020 anymore, and now we're
seriously. I feel like February we were like, I'm so glad that's over, and then it was done, and then February didn't even fucking happen. Like we just went straight from just like Grant dance. We just
tried our way through February with WandaVision.
When WandaVision came to an end, I was just like, well, I have nothing to look forward to anymore. Like, I guess I have no reason to get out of bed anymore. It was so nice to have something to look forward to on Fridays, and
I think Brandy's right. It's never not been March. I think it's just been
1 year ago today. One year ago today, I published my review of Bloodshot, and did not know that it would be the last movie I saw in theaters for God knows when. I still don't know when the next time.
See, I can't remember what the last movie was because I was still like planning on going because like they hadn't shut down everything. Yeah. Like everything shut down so slowly in LA. So I was still like, oh, I can go see something at AMC Burbank.
Yeah, I went to the screening of Bloodshot, and then the next day I had a screening of Promising Young Woman. And I was so excited, but I was like I was watching the news and I was just like, oh, like this is like serious. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to go to this screening to be safe. Yeah. And then I never went to another screening again. And then, long story short, I never went to another screening again. So yeah, I did not plan for Bloodshot to be the last fucking movie I see in the theater. But
yeah, I think actually, is the AMC app still active? Like, I wonder if I can still access.
I don't. It's probably like one guy who's been like locked in a bunker for a year trying to like maintain the app.
I don't know. I've had to update it like 2 or 3 times during the pandemic. Like you just check it.
I specifically remember trying to decide whether I should go see Promising Young Woman, and I didn't, and I regret it. I ended up watching it.
It filters asking for the last 6 months, and I was like, oh no.
0.
And then it's like last 12 months. I'm like, no, let's just do 2020.
Oh God,
that's just depressing.
I'm trying to think of what was even out last March.
Okay, let's see. I think my last one. Okay, I did a double feature of The Invisible Man and The Photograph.
Wow. First of all, that's a very, very wild double feature, but not a bad one.
It is. No, they were both great in their own right. I really enjoyed The Photograph, but I think I went and saw The Invisible Man second, and it was like the best experience because I was sitting like a few seats away from these 3 girls that were like they were like I thought that I was a Makuga in horror films. These girls out Makuga'd me because they were screaming like 5 seconds before anything solid happened, and it was killing me. I was dying laughing throughout the entire movie.
That was a good theater movie. So I feel like you went out on a pretty high note there.
Yeah.
I just miss movie theaters. Like there's really like it's funny because like in the grand scheme of things, who the fuck cares? But I that's another thing. Like concerts, the next time it could be any fucking movie, I'm gonna be sitting in that seat and just like bawling my eyes out because just the fact that I'm in a movie theater is gonna like kill me.
Sorry, Brian came in and said the 2 most killer nicknames in the Schmodown.
Switchblade. Are you officially the Switchblade? Is that?
I am officially the Switchblade, which is actually funny because I remember trying to like. I remember I had pitched it initially, and like Christian just laughed it off, and then he's the one who brought it up during SCN Live, and like the fans got a hold of it because I didn't tell anyone about it. So I was like, "Oh, Christian shot it down, so it's not going to happen." And so then he brings it up on SCN Live, and he's like, "What a stupid fucking name, the Switchblade!" And the fans were like, "The Switchblade is awesome!"
That's
but
crazy.
The reason that he gave me for turning down the Switchblade, it's too violent, and I'm like, I literally just faced Vinnie the Ice Pick. Like,
which again, I was sitting there, and I get a text that's just like, "How do you feel about the Ice Pick?" And I said, "Sure." And and that's how I got the nickname. Everyone asked me, "What's an Ice Pick?" And I said, "I don't know. I do not even know what that is. I guess it's something." I don't know. It's the murder weapon in Basic Instinct. That's the only context I know for the Ice Pick. I don't know what it's actually used for other than murder. So, like you said, the fact that someone could be named the Ice Pick and not the Switchblade is insane. It's like, I mean, inherently, a Switchblade is not violent.
Right. And then until you press the button.
Like Switchblades don't kill people. People kill people. Like
people who press the button kill people. Yeah, that's actually part of gonna be part of my my promo when I finally do it. When I finally get a match. But no, I think it's, you know, they just didn't want me to be as aggressive as that, and I'm like, but I'm not delicate in any way, shape, or form. I'm an Amazon. I'm almost 6 feet tall and like 200 plus pounds. Like, there's nothing subtle.
It's such a good nickname. Like, I feel like it's such a cool nickname to like immediately be like, that's a shitty nickname. It's like, what do you have against Switchblades?
Well, he also laughed at it because we were joking about Seize the Carp because we both like you and I. Ben is an appreciator of Out Cold, so we wanted to be like, seize the day, man. Carpe the diem, seize the carp. We've been joking about it, and he was just like, it's so stupid. And I was like, well, that just washed off. It's fine.
I'm glad. That's a good name.
So I'm officially the last person to get their name changed via populist vote.
That was another thing. That was another thing I thought, like, oh, maybe I'll like try and change my nickname, but like, it is what it is at this point. It's
so good, especially with the persona that you have. Like, the Ice Pick is usually like some guy who's like super sharp and like on edge, and like you're just.
I had such a blast like coming up with stuff with
Owen.
What the fuck? No, what the hell? Kaiser. Jesus Christ! I kept thinking of the word carp. I was like, no, I'm not saying Kaiser. I had such a blast because we were just sitting there and we were just like, okay, like your Ice Pick, like you wear sunglasses. I was like, oh, I have a denim vest. He's okay, that. And he was like, wouldn't it be funny if we like had a picture? And I was like, yeah. I was just, like, we were just like, it didn't make any sense. There's no connectivity to anything that I'm doing. But it was just like, yeah, that'd be funny. That's funny if I had a picture. Like, yeah, you named the Ice Pick. What does that mean? I don't know. Maybe I wear denim. It was just like we came up with like 5 ideas, and I was like, I'm gonna do all of them. I'm gonna do all of those things, and they're not gonna make any sense, but like.
But it works beautifully somehow. Like,
it's a good time. I do enjoy it, and it's, again, I was not into doing the Schmodown. I was just like, that sounds not up my alley. But now I can't leave it.
It just can't quit you.
I can't. It's just like, and as soon as I got one match, I was like, when's my next match? And they're like, there's like 500 people in this league. Like,
yeah,
other people have.
So when? So next week?
I was like, okay, so like, when am I playing though? I don't think you understood me.
It's like that feeling after your first concert, like you just want more. It's like a drug. You're just like, okay, great. When's my next hit?
it's also like the amount that you get amped up to do it, and then it's like 40 minutes go by, and you're like, but I have so many movies in my head. Like, what do I do with all this, man? Like, I just watch those movies I didn't want. Exactly, can't be out anymore. I'm just pacing around my apartment, like, fuck off.
You just have Tourette's, but you're just like spitting out movie factoids.
Wearing denim, holding a melted ass margarita. It's just like, fuck. Like,
tripping over because you're wearing your sunglasses.
Exactly, yeah. So yeah, it was something I had to do once. I could not. I couldn't get it out of my head, and I was like, I know his name's not Cart. Friends. I really love Kaiser. You know his name.
He's such a nice man.
You know his name.
I remember the first time I heard somebody call him John, and I'm like, who the fuck are you talking about? They're like, Kaiser. And I'm like, no, his name is Kaiser. No. Like, that's
you're incorrect. He's a great guy. I feel like I kind of hit the jackpot, man. I really like Winston, too. And I had never met him. I had never met Winston. And he was just so nice immediately, right off the bat. He was just, he's a good guy.
Yeah.
So.
It's such an annoying thing how many great people there are in this league. Like, you genuinely kind of want to have a nemesis. You kind of want to have something that you just really don't actually like.
I would love to play someone that I don't like. I feel like it would make it so much easier.
Right?
It's like, I don't know, you get into a position where you're like, maybe you're going to win, and you're like, oh, but I don't want to upset them. I like them. They're good people. Like, yeah, I don't know. I haven't really met everybody in person, but like I can't think of anybody where I'm like, yeah, fuck that person. Everyone's just been so nice. Everyone's just been so nice since I started doing this.
I'm really excited to meet the new group of people that have joined the Schmodown this season, because normally, we would have already been hanging out with all of them for like weekends on end.
That was
the studio.
That was the bummer about playing Marisol, because like I had to like meet her via, like, she messaged me and was like, hey, like I hated meeting people in the StreamYard. So she's like, this is just me introducing myself. And I was like, oh, yeah, it's nice to meet you. And it kind of sucked to like, because like you said, if this was last year, we all would have already met. We would have been like, oh, I can't wait to play you next week. All that stuff. Like, it's just such a bummer to be like nice to meet you. Yeah, exactly. We didn't know each other.
Yeah.
But like we met, and then they're like, oh yeah, I'm playing next week. So like, yeah, it's I don't even know where we would be playing if we were doing stuff in studio. I don't know what the deal is with that. But
I mean, I know the dream situation is to have our own studio that like we control 24/7, and that like I know SEN, like, dream scenario. I think it's that Christian could shoot SEN out of it, and like they could do a whole bunch of other shows out of it. Just have little rooms, kind of like how Collider did, but with bigger studio sessions instead of like the massive opening to play catch with whatever dog Mark Riley brings in. I'm actually still mad that I didn't get there was a stuck tennis ball between one of the beams and one of the pipes, and I was
up
like,
there from the moment I started working there to the moment I left, and never came down. That thing was up there.
It was. I actually remember the story from that because it was Makuga was playing fetch with Cal, and it somehow bounced off of something and got stuck up there. And I was like, I got that ball. And then one day I walked in and it wasn't there, and I was like, who has my ball? Like, that's my tennis ball.
I missed that fucking warehouse. That was the weirdest place in the world. That place was so weird. Especially
felt like you were gonna get stabbed every time you parked in the back. Like,
I'll never forget the time I was working there, and I don't know where everybody went, but I somehow ended up as the only person in the warehouse, and it was raining that day. And I legitimately felt like I was just like in the first 10 minutes of a horror movie, because I was just in this gigantic empty warehouse sitting there, and it's just the sound of thunder and rain, and I was just like, first of all, where is everybody? Second of all, I'm definitely about to get murdered, because this is I don't know if anybody like watching this has seen the warehouse part of that thing, but it's just a giant fucking warehouse that was used as the Collider offices.
I think they show you when they do backstage for like the second free for all. that was still held in studio. Like they do a lot, like all of the backstage, like pre-show stuff is held like in that warehouse. It is quite spacious.
I will never forget walking in there for the first time. So I was expecting to walk into like an office, and I was just like, hello? Like, is this the right place, or is this like where they sell shoes? Like this is it's the weirdest place, but I miss it now. Now I'm like, oh fuck, I'll never go back again. So I miss it.
Yeah, the first time I walked in was I was invited by Jeff Snyder to come to a match because we had just like gone out to lunch via like a very close mutual friend of ours. And I was down in LA, and he's like, hey, do you want to come to the taping tomorrow? It's top 10 versus the Patriots for the belt for like the third time. I'm like, fuck yeah, I want to be there. And he's like, great, here's the address. Just show up at this time. And I just remember like driving around Burbank being like,
same.
Right, can it? And then like it's like you're at your destination. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like knocking on a door. Somebody opens it with a headset on, and they like walk off and don't even talk to me.
Before my first day, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go see what the office looks like, and I was like, this can't be right. I'm just in an alleyway. This is scary as hell. But no, that's where all the magic happens. Hopefully they can find something as good as that. So,
yeah, I hope so. And there has to be a bar across the street. Like that just it has to be a requirement. Or just
there has to be a bar across the street, and it has to smell terrible. It has to be the worst smelling bar you've ever been in your life, because there's
with an outdoor patio that we can take over.
Yeah,
for like 7 hours.
It's just such a bummer because I just started, doing matches and going to that thing, and then shit went down. I was just like, this is awesome. Like, I'm so glad I started doing this. And then I couldn't do it anymore, and I left LA. So yeah, the next time, I don't know when it'll be, but whenever the fuck they do something live, I will be there.
Yeah.
Whether I'm on the card or not. Because I just miss it.
I just miss everybody. And Brian is wanting to take this opportunity to invite us onto happy hour. I mean, you want to have us drink and hang out? Yeah,
like, oh shit, twist my fucking arm, man. Like I would be doing this alone. So
I mean, that's kind of outside my brand, but okay, I'll
I guess I'll just like
I'll do it for you.
I would love to do that. I would anytime people want to talk to me.
Brian, it's confirmed.
I fucking jinxed it. I don't act like I didn't think that. I sat there and I was just like, I did this. This is I was too. Things were going too well for me. Things were going too well for me. And the universe took it away.
Yeah. It was definitely rough. It was one of those things that I'm not even joking. When Brandon and Alex and I moved out of his old apartment, we were looking for a place, and I was like, well, it needs to be close to the studio. because both Brandon and Alex was working for the show, and then Brandon was helping out with like AV stuff, and I was just always there anyway. And I was like, yeah, let's live decently close. And we like clearly lived less than 10 minutes away.
Yeah, I was so close to the studio. I got really lucky. I because again, I had to work there, and everybody in LA was like, "Oh, you're gonna have to get used to like a 2-hour commute." And I somehow just like lived close to the studio. And again, I was it was just like I was so excited to start doing that more. And then the world went shit. And again, in the scheme of things, it could have been worse, but we'll see.
Yeah. What was your favorite movie to review for Collider?
Probably my glowing review of a little film called Aquaman, because I really love the movie Aquaman. That's something you need to know about me. I really, really love the movie Aquaman, and I saw it with Perry, Christian, and Roca, who all fucking despised it, like hated it, as everyone else on Earth does.
I do not hate Aquaman.
And I was just like, I thought that was great. That's nuts. And so I went straight home. The embargo was like the next morning. Vomited it out like nothing but praise. Just like, I don't know what happened, but I really loved Aquaman. I don't know what that was all about. And then the next day, it's just so funny to be like the person who loved Aquaman. I like it, like especially after the how that whole DC universe was going,
Yeah.
and, that whole thing, and I walked into that movie not really expecting to become a gigantic Aquaman fan, and now I am Collider's #1 Aquaman defender, and
it was a fun movie. It actually was one of the first. It was the first movie that I can remember shooting a fight scene the way that I wanted them to, like the angles that I wanted them to, like when the fight in the house, when like the aerial over the wall and like all like it was perfect. I was like, yes, this is exactly what I've wanted from.
I really like James Wan. I think James Wan is like really talented. He's made some bad movies, but like I think all in all, like
I'm sorry for a second I thought you said James Bond, and I'm like, what era are we talking James Bond? Because no, I'm with you, James Wan.
James Wan, yeah. I think he's really talented, and I thought it was like a really cool thing to see, like how he translated a superhero movie, because he had already done a Fast and Furious movie, so it's not like he had never done a blockbuster before. But like I thought I don't know. I really like Aquaman. I don't meet a lot of people who are like into that movie, and
Jason Momoa's in Lycra. I'm okay with it.
He's just a very attractive man. Like I don't know what to tell people, and here's my favorite Jason Momoa thing in the world. I did the junket for Aquaman, and I walked into the hotel, and Jason Momoa is sitting in the lobby, not wearing any shoes, and just playing a guitar. He's just sitting in the lobby. He's wearing like a deep V. No shoes, and he's just sitting in the hotel lobby on a couch. Just like I was like, I don't know if that's his guitar. Maybe he found it. Maybe somebody just gave it to him. But like it was like seeing the ideal image of a human being. Just like that's Jason Momoa. That's what Jason Momoa's soul looks like. It's just sitting on a couch strumming guitar. I didn't talk to him. I was just like, leave him be. He looks very happy. He looks like he's in his element.
I would have popped in my earbuds, not put anything on, and just gone and sat down at one of the chairs nearby him.
Like on the other end of the other end of the couch, and just like, oh, hey, you Jason Momoa, as if like you could ever mistake him.
Just completely ignore him. Just completely ignore him, unless he like fucks up on something, and then look over and be like, "Really? You went flat on that?"
Yikes, buddy. Don't fucking quit your day job, buddy. So yeah, if you're wondering if Jason Momoa is exactly as you want him to be, that's how I saw him in the wild. Just shitless plucking a guitar in a hotel lobby.
I mean, I feel like that's the perfect image of him. Like, because in my mind,
yes, that's
like he's just kind of like a Samoan Viking in my mind.
Yeah, like
throws axes, drinks beer while doing it. He can do a haka, like. Oh no, Brandy, we don't neg Jason Momoa in this house. Ever.
I wouldn't fucking dream of negging Jason Momoa. Actually, I interviewed him for. This is another just classic Jason Momoa thing. I did a phone interview with him for Men's Health when I worked at Men's Health, which was a very funny job that I used to have. Because you see me and you're like, that guy clearly fucking works for Men's Health. And he picks up the phone and he's like, is this Jason Momoa? He's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, this is Vinny. He's like, your name's Vinny? Sick, man. Sick. It's just like, I love this man. You're the best. You're the best. There's like you I feel like he says that to literally every person he meets. That's your name? Sick.
I mean, Vinny is something that you don't hear a lot of men being called anymore. Like outside of my family, because my last name is Silvestrini. So I have like 3 Vinnies somewhere. But yeah, you don't hear it very much. So like hearing a dude called Vinny, and he's like, he's got that like Brooklyn kind of attitude towards him too.
So I'll never forget the sound of Jason Momoa. Sick. It's just like, it is sick, Jason. Thanks, man. Yeah, those are my 2 Jason Momoa stories, and they're both pretty on brand for Jason Momoa.
And they're both pretty fantastic. Now you interviewed someone that we talked about earlier today. That you.
Oh my god, we haven't even
deep-seated love of mine. I know we're going on 2 hours, so I'm hoping you'll hang out for at least another half hour so we can.
For sure. Well, we have to talk. We have to talk about this. This is.
We do, but before we do, guys. First of all, hi Jilly. Oh, hi baby. But if anybody has any questions for either Vinny or myself, go ahead and throw those into the Streamlabs. The link is down below. We'll definitely get to all of them, or any of them if they come in. But yes, so you had posted literally yesterday about an interview that you did with Kevin Smith, and I was like, so we're talking about this tomorrow. Like, have to. Because I figure if we started off with this, we would literally never get off of the subject. So I was like, we started in on it for a little bit, and then I'm like, okay, we're going to talk about everything else, and then we'll circle back to Kevin because of my deep love for him. So tell me about your interview.
He was a dick. What if I was just like, he was a total asshole?
I'd be like, you're lying.
he was the fucking worst. No. He's the best. I was wearing a King Kong shirt, so like before the interview, like we just like talked about King Kong, and like we hadn't even started rolling yet. So like it's funny because like the PR people were like, we have a hard out at this time, and we went wait. That was the thing. I'd only asked like 2 questions, and I was like, either we're going over, or I have to tell Kevin Smith to shut the fuck up because like he wants to stop talking. So we went over, but no, he's I don't know. It's one of those things where he's obviously been doing this for so long that talking as Kevin Smith is his job. Like that's what he does. Like speaking. So like it cannot come easier to him. But it was just so anything I said. Like I said, it's wearing a King Kong shirt. We talked about King Kong, just bullshit about King Kong. I told him I was from New Jersey, and he was like, "Oh, where are you from?" And I was like, "New Brunswick." And he was like, "Oh, Rutgers." And like we talked about fucking New Brunswick for 10 minutes. And it's funny because we mostly talked about New Jersey. And I was like, I'm eventually gonna have to ask him a question so like I don't get fired. And then like started talking about My Chemical Romance, which was hilarious because I was just like, this interview is for me and me only. Like this is just me talking to Kevin Smith about My Chemical Romance. No one else is gonna care about this. But
excuse you?
It's a very like
it's me
talking to Kevin Smith about My Chemical Romance, very niche subject, but the people who do care a lot.
Yeah, when I read that article, like somebody had posted I think he posted like the script page for the opening of, I think it's Clerks 3. It's either Clerks 3 or
it's Clerks 3, yeah.
Yeah.
He said, "Welcome to the Black Parade," yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I like as I'm reading it, I'm like, no, this isn't happening. This is like the joy and the anticipation was building. I need to work on these movies. I will move to New Jersey to film Mallrats and Clerks, and then I
didn't know. I obviously knew that the Quick Stop existed, and I knew it still exists. I didn't know. I literally lived like 30 minutes away from, like I've definitely like driven past it. Like I don't, it never really clicked in my head how like close I was to it my whole life. But that town, I've been past that town like a million times. So I finally like looked up where the Quick Stop was, and I was like, oh, that fucking place. Like I've definitely like just casually driven past it, and it looks exactly the same. But yeah, he's the best. He was one of the most he's easy because I literally would just be like, hey, what do you think of this? You talk about it for like you could tell he like would have talked about it for 20 minutes if he could. He's a very passionate man. He talked about almost dying. He talked about how he almost died. He talked about just why he's making Clerks 3. I asked him, I was like, is Gerard Way, because there was like this like semi-report that Gerard Way is scoring Clerks 3. But it was kind of like so I asked him, is that true? He's like, I'm trying to get him to, but Gerard Way is obviously a very incredibly busy man. He was like, yeah, he told me I could use Welcome to the Black Parade, so I put that in the script. But yeah, I can confirm he's a very nice man. he was a wonderful, and it's funny because it was like it was for the movie Clerk, the documentary,
right,
that was coming out, and so the director of Clerk was like also there, so I like felt bad. I was like, I could ask this guy like a question. Like I feel like I feel like at this point he has to understand that people are coming to like talk to Kevin Smith, but like I was like, well, I was like, so like to direct movies. I kind of like just like gave him a very general question. Then I was like, okay, like, Kevin, like let's talk about Master of the Universe. Let's talk about Clerks 3, Mallrats 2. So and it sounds like he's going to be very busy. I would love to talk to him, like get like a one-on-one like actual interview, because this was like 20 minutes of the thing. I think like talking like he's one of those people like Guillermo del Toro, who's my fave. He's like my Kevin Smith to you. He's like and when I interviewed him, he's like Kevin. They're similar in that like you literally you can ask him fucking anything, and they would give you like not only a long answer, but they would make it would be like beautiful. You'd be like, I asked you like the most general question. Like I think I asked Kevin Smith, I was like, so like I don't know, why do people love stories in small town New Jersey? Just like a very general question. And he gave me this like beautiful answer. Like this like beautiful, eloquent, just like I was just like, wow. Like that. I just like sat under the learning tree there for a second. I was like really good. Just like I just wanted like a soundbite. But you actually took it seriously. So like I appreciate that.
But you gave me a new direction for my life now.
Yeah, I was like, thank you. Like I'm gonna sign off and quit my job and follow my dreams now. So thank you for that. But yeah,
it's like when Christian had him on for SEN Live, and he was like, "Yeah, we've got him on for like a half hour," and I'm like, "You're not even asking a question." I'm like, "That's adorable."
I was genuinely getting worried because the PR person was messaging me and was like, "You have 5 minutes left." And I was like, "No, I don't."
Yeah,
I have asked one question. And he just he used his time. He's definitely been using his time. So yeah, I'm mad because like I would love to get him into the studio, because we used to have in studio things. It's not a thing anymore. But he would be like the ideal studio interview because he just fucking talks. Yeah. And I'm like, how can I parlay this into facing him in the Schmodown? I was like, I'm not gonna mention it because I didn't think it would be professional to challenge him to a movie trivia match in my actual job. But it's like, Christian, we've been on camera together, make it happen. So if the Battle of New Jersey ever wants to happen, I am ready and willing anytime. I have now seen Chasing Amy, so
So you think you're ready now?
I'm pretty sure I know what I'm doing. I haven't seen Cop Out yet. I get all fucking Cop Out questions. I know it's a Lag Pofko baseball card. Sorry. Yes. Okay. I know that for some reason. I could like learn fucking math, but I have these like these random tidbits of movie trivia in my head. I'm just like, imagine if I had used that to like do science.
We do have a few Streamlabs that came in. I apparently missed this one, but Movie Fanobi Steve says, Rachel, hello, lovely one, hello, my love. And then Brian sent in and said, question for Vinny. How does someone get a job such as yours? And what advice would you give for someone who wants to do what you do? Rachel, you're still the only person I Streamlab. Love you both. Oh, thanks, baby. Because everybody else is monetized.
I always feel really bad when people ask me that question because I've definitely just like flown ass backwards through my entire career. Like I could tell you the long version of my career, and it's I don't. The answer is I don't know. But like the short answer is just to like get as much bylines as possible. Bylines are more important than like whatever's on your resume, because if someone could be like, oh, I did this and this, but if you can send someone like the best thing that ever happened to me in my career is working with Drew Grant, Video Drew, because I was straight out of college, but she let me like write so much. So like when I eventually got laid off, as all people in media do, I went to all these publications. I was like, look at all the stuff I wrote. Like you can proof of like success, proof that like you've done something is more important than like trying to build your resume or whatever. So
yeah,
again. I wish I could tell you the path I took, but the path I took was like just flying through the fucking like Doctor Strange universe from one accident to accident. But like I would say that if you want to do this, dude, get as much examples of you doing it as possible. Never work for free. Never write anything for free.
No.
Never ever write anything for free, because that's just you're worth more than that. But any opportunity you can take, like even if it's like, you know, for the site no one's heard of, like most of my clips out of college were for the Rutgers newspaper. But just the fact that I had like I used to write for the sports section of the Rutgers newspaper. What the fuck? I don't know anything about sports. I covered gymnastics. I covered gymnastics and lacrosse for the Rutgers newspaper, and I don't know shit about gymnastics and lacrosse. But the fact that I could go places and be like, "Hey, look, I covered a sport for months, hit my deadlines, produced stories, did features, did interviews." I think that means more to people than I don't know, saying that you did this internship or that you have this grant or whatever. So yeah, that is my. I really wish I could give, because you know, people ask me all the time. I'm just like, I'm so fucking lucky. Like I really did get. I was just in the right place like a lot, and but I had, when I was in the right place, I had, you know, stuff in my portfolio. So just keep building stuff in your portfolio, and eventually someone will be like, "Oh shit, you're very talented."
What's the saying? Success is when preparation meets opportunity, or luck is when preparation meets opportunity. And
something
I
like that.
100% agree with that, because the reason that I got started touring with bands as heavily as I was literally because I showed up. I was working for a nonprofit called Music Saves Lives, and we did a Warped Tour kickoff show at the Viper Room, and I ended up standing shoulder to shoulder with Kevin Lyman, who created Warped Tour, and I ended up talking to him about getting a massage therapist in reverse daycare, and like he was like, "That sounds like a great idea. Let's try it out." And so I spent a week traveling throughout California with my best friend, setting up my massage chair and like working on the parents, and they loved it. I couldn't find a bus spot, and he was like, "Call me next year in like February when I'm putting everything together, and we'll see if we have a spot for you, because I really like the idea." Apparently parents were like chasing him down at Warped Tour to be like, "This is the best thing ever."
Yeah,
it was really amazing. And that led to like so many things, because when you are able to say that you worked on Warped Tour in the entertainment world, people are like, "Oh my God, you went back?"
Yeah. Well,
and then
eventually,
they also know that you can work.
Eventually, you get to a point where like one thing always sort of snowballs into another. So the hardest part is getting started. It's the hardest part with any industry is, you know, breaking in. But like at a certain point, like when I got laid off from the Observer, 4 people messaged me and was like, "Do you want to freelance for our site?" Just because, you know, I had met them through whatever, and they knew that I could do it. So like it sucked to get laid off, but I then had freelance work. And then through the freelance work, I built up a really good relationship with Collider. They had a job opening, and they're like, "We have a job opening, but you have to move to California." And I was like, "Okay, I really need health insurance, so sure, I'll move to California." And then I always feel bad because like I'm really bad at giving advice, and B, I don't really have any great advice. It is it's a tough industry. It's tough to break into. It's
to be fair, there's no right or wrong way to like get your start. Like there's no one right way. There's no story that a lot of people are going to be like, "Oh yeah, I did that same exact thing."
Yeah.
It's usually like, "So I did this, which led to this, which led me to meeting this guy, which led me to meeting this girl, and led to this interview, and then I bought a drink for somebody, or I stopped this guy from hitting on this girl, and she ended up being the girlfriend of the guy who owns this." Exactly. And it's
like my sister is a physical therapist, and so she went to school, did the right things, and now she can literally just get that job anywhere she wants. Like that industry is such that you get your degree and there will always be. And I'm just like, wow. Like look, she was working somewhere and then she was like, "I don't really like it here." Just got a job at another place. I was just like, that sounds amazing. This industry is not like that. It's sort of like just fucking chipping away at a fucking wall until finally something breaks there.
I thought you were going to make an ice pick joke. And I was like,
Oh,
perfect,
no.
yes,
Oh,
baby!
we already established I don't know what an ice pick is. I did see someone that was like, it's for picking ice.
It's
like,
literally for taking big blocks of ice at like restaurants and stuff and like breaking it apart. That's what it's for.
okay. Well, see, we all learn something.
The more you know.
There you go. That's why. Some for more than murder. That's good to know.
I mean, yeah. And you know, it's usually something that's kept around a lot of butchers and places.
I've been waiting. My dream is to be in a Schmodown match and get the question, what is the murder weapon in Basic Instinct? I'd just be like, it's me, motherfucker. I am the murder weapon. Ice pick.
There's so many questions that, like, I mean, you mentioned it earlier about how you just get angry when certain questions about movies or slices get brought up and you're like, you're wasting my questions.
I will say that to anyone who's like a rookie or getting into it, never watch the next match after yours, because you will get every question right. You will be like, why were these not my questions? Like, you'll go, I don't know, the 5 or whatever in the first round in your match. If you watch the next one, you will get a perfect round. You'll get the extra run. The wheel will spin onto your category. You'll get all those right, and you'll just be like, why did this happen to me? Because there's so much luck involved that it's just like, I don't know how anybody's good at this game. I don't know how anybody ever does successful in this game. It doesn't make sense to me.
Well, like, literally, I think it was the week after Roka's and my singles match 2 years ago, last year. I can't remember what his time. But like, our round 1 questions were really hard. Like, I think he got 5 and I got 4 out of 8. Yeah. And then like the next week we were sitting next to each other and like playing against each other, because I'm like, I want a rematch. This is bullshit. So like, we're playing against each other on our phones. And like, the round 1, we both went perfect, and we were like, what the fuck were these questions for us?
It's and you're just like, how did you know what I would get? Like, you like take it so personally. You're like, you gave me all the hard questions.
Right?
Like, no, they gave you whatever questions were up next.
Like, in my head, I form a voicemail that I'm gonna leave for PJ and be like, you motherfucker, you knew I was gonna do this. You knew this was for me. And in my head, I'm like, I'll do it. But I think I did. I think I called him once, and I was like, just kidding, I love you.
The only time I've ever taken it super personally is when I heard that Killer Clowns from Outer Space question. I was like, I love that movie. That's my question.
That's legitimately why I stormed out of the studio when Out Cold was asked about it. I'm like, this is bullshit. I'm the only one in this entire building that knows what this movie's about.
I do generally feel like I never get questions about like movies I like. I've yet to be like, hell yeah, I love that movie. I don't know if PJ's playing like 4D chess and studying my brain, but it seems like that. But we'll see. I am chasing an elusive perfect first round. It has still not happened. I've gotten 7 twice, never 8.
I think the closest I've gotten is 6.
They
always ask a fucking director question.
I got 7 the first 2 times I played, and I was like, I will always get 7. And then it hasn't happened again. Like, the last 2 times it didn't happen, I was just like, oh, that's okay. I thought that I would easily get 7 every time, and then I was wrong. I was really wrong.
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't work out quite that well. But you know, that's
one day we'll have our moments in the sun.
But that's why we keep coming back.
It's like next time I'm gonna go perfect. I'm gonna knock someone out. It's gonna be incredible. And then it doesn't happen. You're just like, well, fucking next time I'm gonna get perfect.
It's just you just keep coming back, trying to improve and to reach that high that you got the first time in front of those lights. And like, the first time that you win, it just like gets in your blood, and you're like, I need this feeling.
That was I do almost like regret winning. That's not true. But like, when I finally won, I was like, well, I'll never lose it. Like, I'll never lose again. Like, of course, like, I won a match. How could I ever lose again? I was immediately knocked out by Ethan Allen on like the most embarrassing way possible. I talked a bunch of shit about how he's never seen Frozen, and then my last question was about Frozen, and I got it wrong.
What was the question?
The question was like, what Disney movies directed by just the names of the directors.
Oh, that's kind of
like,
hard.
I don't fucking know. I've seen Frozen. Like, are you kidding me? Everyone's seen Frozen, but like, I don't know the directors. But yeah, I was just like, that's one of those things where it's like, of course that happened.
And then you're like, PJ!
You're just like, okay. I talked all that shit, and now I look stupid on the internet.
You made me look like an asshole.
Now I look stupid on YouTube. Thanks a lot, PJ.
My life is over. God, I miss. You know what the best part is I miss that after match energy. Like whether you win or lose, there's all like you go behind the scenes, you do your post match interview, and then you go out into the lobby, you join everybody else, and everyone is like, "Dude, that was so funny," or "That was so great," or, "Oh, that was such a good try."
It
like
makes you I don't want to. First of all, I don't want to get in trouble for talking too much about the league, but like I feel like you almost in that moment care way less than the people watching care about who won or lost. Like when you're hanging out at the bar afterwards, like you could be, I don't know, like whatever your record is. It doesn't really matter because you had fun with your friends, and like like it was fun. It was fun, and then you're talking about movies with your friends, and like it sucks to lose, but like at the end of the day, I do this because it's fun, and like I really like all the people that do it. So like while it is fun to discuss, championships and wins and losses and like again, I'd rather win.
It's
I
a
would
really nice feeling.
much rather win. I got it. I literally started doing it because I was like, oh well, that seems like a cool bunch of people, and I keep doing it because it's like, oh, that is a cool bunch of people. So not that I don't want to win, because like I do get really mad. I did not expect to like get that upset when I lost, especially this last. Like, I don't know if they censored it, but or cut it out. But that when I answered my last question wrong at the marathon match, I was just like, fuck. They immediately took me off screen and like thinking, I was just like, oh, first of all, sorry, you're chronic if you had to hear that. But I was just like, I was so mad. And it took me and I talked to Winston. I was like on the phone with Winston. He's like, "It's okay, man. It's okay." And I was like, "No, I'm so mad I lost." Like it took a couple days where I was like, "Right, it's just movie trivia. Like it doesn't."
It doesn't really matter. We did get a Streamlab from Jake said, "I remember when Vinnie was first announced. I was chilling with Video Drew in Brooklyn, and she was fucking heated that she wasn't teamed up with him because of their history. LOL, love having you around, brother, man."
It still never happened. I would love to face Drew. I would love to like play against Drew.
That would be
like some sort of like fucking Star Wars like master and mentor like storyline. Because I will say, I know I said that a lot of my career was random, but like it is owed to Drew. Like I the fact she's the first person to like actually hire me in this job. So, and it's so funny because like we then separated and then came back to the Schmodown or the Collider completely randomly. So like she was living in LA and Collider sort of needed a person, and so I recommended her. She got hired. She met Christian. She did the Schmodown first, and I did it like a year later. It's a very small world. But yeah, I would love that match. But I think her record's too good now. I think I'm too far lower on the totem pole. So I gotta up my stats, and then maybe I could get to Drew.
I know. I've been since day one when Christian told me, literally the day that Christian told me that Kevin Smith was going to be in the league or that he was trying to get him in. I was like, that I have to face him, right? Like
that should be the match. I feel like
I have to. Although now I think that he does have like a serious like advantage because that's his life. So like obviously he's gonna have the advantage. So what I've talked to Christian about this is I want to have a Kevin Smith off against Jericho with Kevin at the table.
Yeah, that is fine.
And I'm like, I will welcome a 5-way match if anybody thinks that they can fucking take me in Kevin Smith. Because
I will not participate in that match. I am very surface level in my Kevin Smith knowledge. I could tell you who directed all of them.
I mean, not all of them, because technically Kevin was also in movies like Dougal. That,
Yeah, he was also in Dougal.
yeah, that movie about
All
the
right,
dog.
He was in Dougal.
Or Dougal, however you say it.
I have no idea. I have no idea what you're talking about. I've never heard of that movie. I have no idea what that is.
But yeah,
Dougal.
so there's a lot. I would love for that to happen, which is why I'm just kind of like hoping that things this year kind of like chill out and that we can get back to live events, if only for Spectacular, because I'm hoping we can pull that off as like a pre-Spectacular match that like goes like it happens live, but like gets taped and released like to patrons or something like that, because it's something that a lot of people would like, I think. And it would be something that I would probably walk into traffic afterwards because my life would not get better.
I am mad because literally like the second thing ever I was supposed to do was the free for all, which was a live thing. So I was getting all jazzed up to do a live show. Now it's like, well, when the fuck am I going to do a live show now? When am I? So it's like the opportunity was there, passed. Now it's like, well, when the hell am I going to get on a live card now? So.
Free for all, the 5th free for all?
Yeah, free for all a year from now. Yeah.
Next year?
We'll see.
We'll see what happens. But yeah, no, I with the record stuff, I was like constantly like telling Christian, I'm like, I want to face him. And then I lost my 3rd match and he's like, yeah, you're going to need to start winning if you face Kevin Smith. And I'm like, but you're giving him easy matches. Yeah,
like
I'd be able to, you know, be up two matches right now if you would give me those.
I think I could beat Chris Jericho. Like any Jericho. Like
I would. First of all, I think I just geek out hardcore if I got to play Jericho. But I would love to take Jericho on. I think it would be so much fun.
There's a ton of people. There's.
We'll just do that. The free for all is happening this year. In case you didn't know, I was actually really worried that it was going to happen the day after my birthday, and I was like, please don't make me stay sober for my birthday. Like that just does not sound fun.
Yeah, it is happening this year. I'm not allowed to talk about it.
April 24th is the date. That's all I know. And then I know Ben.
I would love to be in it. I don't know.
I would too. I know Ben Bateman. The only 2 people that I know, because I watched Kate's clip from backstage, because you got to stay up to date. But I know that Ben Bateman and Dan Merler, and I can't remember if anybody else was announced because I didn't listen to the rest of it. But if anybody knows, pop it into the.
I do like the idea of being free for all, because I do think it is the best opportunity to beat somebody like that, because like you get some weird random question. It's only 5 questions around. You get some weird random question and they lose. Like it's a full match. I don't know.
I want to be the person to take out Bibiani. Like I want that to happen. I want it to be on like an out cold question or grind.
That's what I mean. Like imagine everyone has the same amount, and then an out cold question comes, and you're like, my time has arrived. I have ascended.
I would literally just like I would have to concentrate so hard on writing it down because I would probably just burst into tears and be like, "This is my moment! Oh my god!" and get distracted and forget to write it down.
Yeah, like just completely write the wrong answer, and you're just like, "How did I do that?" Yeah.
I'd be like, Alaska!
Yeah. Like very, very confidently show it. You're like, that's wrong. So confident.
You're like, it's in Colorado. Be like, no! Instead, in all the ski towns in all of Alaska!
I love that movie. It's not fair. Yeah, I hope I'm in it. But time will tell. Time will tell.
And yeah, that's the best part about free for all. Anyone can win. I mean, if they have a good number. It's
fucking the 40. Like, who would you guys love to beat more than anyone? Literally anybody.
I would honestly like. I would love to be the first person to take out Bibbs. I think that would be a freaking masterful thing to do. To be like, oh, she got drafted 12th by her faction and she took out Bibbs. Like that would be such a primo thing to do.
I feel like literally anything.
Yeah. I mean, I'd love to take out Bateman or
every single time I play, it feels like people are like, "Oh, he has like upset potential, but he's probably gonna lose." Like, I like to like actually do it once. So like, like it's fun to have people be like, "Oh, like if he gets lucky, like maybe, but like I'd like to actually do it one time. I'd like to be like have that.
Apparently, they released a poster during the stream with about 20 competitors on it. No confirmation. Yeah, I got a text from one of my faction mates, and she was like, "I didn't know you were in free for all." I was like, "I didn't know either." But apparently, I'm on the poster.
Where's the poster?
I can't pull it up on my
link.
Yeah, guys, somebody message it to me. Hold on, let me see if I can pull it up on Twitter. It'd be great if my keyboard worked. Where is this? I'm not seeing it, guys. Somebody send it to me. Message me on Twitter. My DMs are open because I'm a sad person. Yeah, somebody message it to me on Twitter, please. I don't know who's watching, but I'm pretty sure you all follow me on Twitter. Wait, what? No, I'm not going to take down Goddard. It's fine. People can, you know what? I like that people don't think that I'm good, because then when I beat people, it's going to be so much fun.
I would love to face Goddard because of our very controversial history of the showdown. I think it would be fun. I think that would be a fun match. I think.
Well, I mean, technically, the last time I had a controversial match, I ended up facing off against one, like, because we beat Inky and the Brain beat the movie guys, which we were not supposed to do. Like, no one had us winning that one. And then apparently Christian was like, yeah, I like this feud between you and Paul. I'm like, we have a feud? Like, we're actually really good.
Oh, fun, a feud.
And so I faced Paul on like 80 hours of like work and like 4 hours of sleep in a week. And still, it was a really good match. I held up my own, but I'm still angry about a few questions.
Oh, here we go. You are on the poster.
I am on the poster.
You are on the poster. Wait. But so is Laura Kelly.
Hold on. I mean, she might. You never know. Hold on. Let me see if I can find this.
That'd be sick. I mean, she obviously knows everything about Star Wars there is to learn. So maybe she's bored and needs to like learn more things.
Dude, it's so funny. Whenever we go in for like study matches and stuff for our Star Wars players, I'm always like, look, I will help out as much as I can, but honestly, tell me if it's not a help, because I don't know.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know that much about any movie, so to like know that much about the entire, that shit is above my pay grade.
Yeah,
it's above me.
I'm so confused with all of it.
I don't know. There's a person I don't recognize in the top right.
Hold on, let me.
So I guess we're just putting rookies on posters now.
I guess.
Great.
Hold on, let me see if I can share my screen. No, not stop cam. Share. There we go.
I could just do that.
You could, but
it's kind of hard to say.
It's kind of. Hold on. Share screen. Application window. No, Chrome tab. There we go. Twitter. Okay. So let's see if this works. Does that work for everybody?
There we go.
Okay, so.
Who we got?
So top left, we got Paul Oyama, we got Brittany Young, Amaru Moses, Craig. Who else is that? Oh, we got Zip, me, Laura Kelly,
Chandru, Paul
Preston.
A person I don't recognize in the corner.
Whitney Seibold is there. I don't recognize who's in the top right corner.
Yeah, that's who I'm talking about. Don't know who that is.
Who is that? I don't know, but it's somebody grimacing with glasses on. And then, Roka, Liz, Kalinowski, Collins, Marisol, Drew. Yeah. Janine.
I mean, not a ton of like surprises.
Yeah, no.
Except for that one person. I don't know who they are.
I'm wondering if all of these people are actually confirmed, because I do not know at this point.
I mean, is there an undercard?
I don't know. I mean, it's 40 competitors, so I would be very shocked if there was an undercard. Because it does take like 8 hours to do. To get through all 40 people.
You're on the poster. Congrats.
Apparently, yeah. Great. Congrats. I'm excited.
Rick Radis.
Oh, that's Rick? Oh, okay. Okay.
Once again, I am left off the poster. Just fueling all of my promos. I appreciate it.
With your confirmed participation in the free for all.
Look,
Yeah, I knew they were
I just want to be on one goddamn poster is all I want.
Yeah, I'm like, I know we're coming up soon on it. Like, shouldn't we be hearing from our managers at some point? And I was like, oh, well, that came out. All right. I guess I'm part of the free for all.
Well, I mean,
I'm happy to, obviously. It's the free for all. It's so much fun.
Yeah. And I once again, like one of the biggest bummers of last year is not doing it. So the fact that we're even doing it this year is,
yeah.
God.
I mean, it's one of the things that fans and competitors look forward to the most throughout the year, because you all get together like as fans and like meet each other and have so much fun. And as the competitors, we all get to hang out together backstage and like hang out with you guys too, and like come out to the audience. Like I remember halfway through the second half, I ended up at the bar in House Right with Mark Riley and Julie, his fiance, and Robert Meyer Burnett were all at the bar, and like Robert's buying me drinks because he drank all my whiskey backstage. And we're just like yelling. I just remember Janine getting announced and me being like, "That's my girl!" and like really loud and obnoxious, drunk, because that's me and my aggressive love. It was just the best. We had so much fun, and then went to the bar afterwards and kept drinking and hanging out and meeting people. I miss live events. Wait, Brian, what did you say? Vinny, you are more of a fan favorite than you give yourself credit for. A lot of people picked you on our POV reaction when you played Marisol. That was a really close match, honestly. Like,
I appreciate that.
Really good match.
Yeah, it was. I'm so mad I didn't win. I'm so mad I didn't win. I think it's very frustrating. It's so funny because like I don't know, because of whatever, I hate saying like my character, but like I try and stay as like I don't care at all. But I was so mad. I was like, because I was the underdog going in, and I was up going into the third round, and I was like, it's happening. It's all happening according to plan. And shit just went off the rails. And yeah, I was that I think more than anything, because like our match when we lost, I was like, I barely knew the fucking rules. So it was like, they stole our points. What do you mean they stole our points? I was like, how did we get knocked out? I remember
seeing the look of confusion on your face, and then that confused me even more.
Like, I would not have just like screamed out answers. I mean, I probably still would have, because I had no like idea of how the game worked. But and again, like I was playing like the person who probably knows the most about Kevin Smith, and like I got Kevin Smith, so I probably shouldn't have just been like, I don't know, Return of the Jedi. I probably should have like thought about it more. But yeah, we lost that one. That was a bummer.
I appreciate the points though. So
yeah, I was like, I'm glad I won. They earned it.
I mean, if you hadn't missed any points, I would have been just raging livid, because that's one of the slices that I'm like, why are you wasting my questions on these people?
Well, it's one of those ones where I go back, and now that I've watched, like rewatched those movies or watched Chasing Amy, I was like, oh, they weren't even like that hard of questions. I just hadn't seen so many of those movies in so long. Like the one about, again, I still remember all the ones I got wrong. The one about Casey Affleck. Like if I had just watched Chasing Amy at any point in my life, I would have remembered that.
I mean, to be fair though, that's like that was one of those harder questions, because I have seen all of them and I know that he's in a few of them. I'm like, shit, which one is it? Like, you have to narrow it down. And like, knowing PJ, the multiple choice would have been all three of those movies plus one, and I would have been like,
I got it wrong.
Well, that helps. But like, yeah.
I do appreciate anybody that picked me. I appreciate that. I don't pay attention to that stuff as maybe I should. But listen, I really fucking wish I won. I was so goddamn mad. I'm glad that Marisol won though. I feel like she's super nice and good at movie trivia, and
she is really sweet. Well, guys, we're going to give it another 5 minutes before we take off and I ask my famous last question. So you have 5 minutes to send in any last minute Streamlabs. And then I'm going to ask my famous last question and tell you what's coming up for the week. Now, what would you say is like your favorite movie of all time?
My favorite movie of all time. Well, you want to understand that's like a loaded question. Like, it's like, but
Yeah,
I think the answer.
I literally like get angry at people when they're like, "What's your favorite movie?" I'm like, "You can go fuck yourself." Like, how long do you have?
My favorite movie is get the fuck out of my face. But the answer I give more than anything is Pan's Labyrinth. Guillermo del Toro's Pan's Labyrinth. He's my favorite director. You know, when I obviously understand this because with Kevin Smith, you know, when like a director's vibe is just like everything you've ever wanted in a movie. Even his bad movies, even like, I don't know, like even the stuff that's like his lower level, just the way he does like color and production design is just like, it's just so, it's like what I want from movies. And Pan's Labyrinth is like the like mecca of all that. So like that movie is one of the things where it's like, it's like you picked the perfect movie from my brain. I love that movie. I love him. He's one of those people who I would love to talk to. Like I've interviewed him at like round tables and gotten to ask him like one question. I was just like, I need more. Like, I need more time with that man. So that's the answer I give more often than not. But God, other movies could easily be the answer. You know, like I love like any John Woo movie. John Woo is another favorite of mine. John Carpenter is just, again, some people would be like, don't give away all your strengths, but like, who the fuck cares? John Carpenter, like 5 of his movies at any given day would be like my favorite. Like The Thing is a masterpiece. Halloween is a masterpiece. And even his lesser known stuff like The Fog. I love The Fog so much. Wes Craven is another favorite. I think A Nightmare on Elm Street is a perfect movie. So yeah, the answer I give more than anything is Pan's Labyrinth, but I have a rack of Blu-rays that I could easily be like, that's my favorite movie. That's my favorite movie. That's my favorite movie.
No, I remember when the real answer is National Treasure. Yeah, I remember when Pan's Labyrinth came out and people were literally, because I was still working in the movie theater at that point, and people were like storming out, like angry that it was subtitled. And I'm like, but have you watched it? It's so beautiful. Like just, I love when directors have passion projects that they've been working on for like 2 decades, like Guillermo was with this one. Like he literally had a notebook dating back to like, I think when he was like 14 or 15, like with like rough outlines for the monsters.
Yeah.
And like
I love that.
It's amazing.
And like the Parasite winning was amazing, but I will never forget the year that his movie about fucking monsters won Best Picture and Best Director. I was just like, this is the best night of my life. Like, no way should this movie have won anything, because the Academy, you know, they're stuffy. And this fucking movie where this woman has sex with the creature from the Black Lagoon won Best Picture and Best Director. I was blown. I was just like, I never thought a movie with like that aesthetic would be that awarded for being as weird as it is. So, but
it's just he does movies like they're just so beautiful. You just want to dive into them, like, and not just because of his water or his color scheme is like watercolors. Like it's just so
like attention to, you could just tell that he just loves every step of the process. You look in the background, like fucking tables look cool, like the way it's lit, and like, you know, just like the way it changed.
I have Guillermo del Toro and Robert Rodriguez like that, because I know how much Robert loves all of his movies. Like he, you know, writes and directs and like edits and does the music for them, and like he's so involved. But it's not because he's, you know, like a type A like control freak. It's because he loves every part of making a movie, and he's just so invested in it, and he's just
I really do like
people that I would love to like interview, and not just because he has a pizza oven in his
he's also apparently a really great cook. So anytime
did you watch that episode of Chef Table?
That's exactly what I was thinking of. Yeah, he is apparently an incredible cook. And so like if you're an A+ director, cinematographer, editor, sound designer, and you can make a pizza, chef's kiss as a human being. Seriously. He just hard pivots sometimes into making like epic children's movies, which is like follow your bliss, man. Like it's amazing. Like his filmography is the wildest thing in the world.
It's so weird.
From Dusk Till Dawn, followed by like Spy Kids. It's just like what a wonderful filmography that is. Right. Yeah, he's another one where I'm just like, they're just, I don't know. I watch a lot of movies and I like all movies, but there are just some directors where I'm just like, fuck, man. Like so glad that I'm like alive when you're making movies because you're just so good at it.
Yeah, there are very few like actors or directors that I'm like I don't need to know anything else about the project unless they're in it. Like, if I know they're in it, you know, like if I know that Kevin Smith is making another movie, I don't care what it's about. I'm going to go see it, and I know I'm going to enjoy it because it's Kevin and I get him. Or basically Judy Greer. Judy Greer's in fucking everything I love. She's just wonderful.
Wonderful actress. Yeah, that's me with like there's such a long list of actors who I'll never be mad to see, and at the top of that list is Michael Shannon. I love that man, and I've never been upset when he walks into anything. He's just he's so wonderful. I watched Man of Steel for the first time since theaters. I hadn't seen it. I had not watched Man of Steel since theaters, and I was like, okay, let's see if I remember this movie. Didn't really like it, but I just love Michael Shannon, man. He's just so over Superman shit. He's just like, oh, gonna blow up this fucking planet. All right, that's fine. Yeah, his whole vibe just like works for that movie because I feel like Michael Shannon the person was a little over it. So like, it kind of worked. He was just like, I'm so tired of saying these stupid words. So is Zod, so it works. So like, that part of the movie really still works for me. The rest of it is hit or miss. There's some good parts. Zack Snyder makes a pretty image. I'll say that for him. He knows how to make a nice looking image.
Yeah,
he would be a fantastic music video director if all.
Yeah.
If he just had to like.
Imagine if Zack Snyder directed all of the amazing brand new music videos back in the day.
That's what I'm saying. Like 4 minutes, all visuals, over cool music.
Give it to me.
That's why 300 is so good because nobody fucking talks. It's just slow motion like movement, and it looks cool. And you're just they're all so muscular. This is amazing.
It's just shirtless men all oiled up,
shirtless men in slow motion, and you're just like,
music.
This is awesome. Yeah, it's another movie I haven't seen in a long time. Maybe I'll give 300 a whirl.
Yeah, maybe I'll do that tonight. It's been a while since I've actually watched This Is Sparta, and not like.
Sparta. Wow, what a fucking picture that is.
Right? It was one of those things that I'm like, I love that line so much, but I feel so bad for Jerry B.
Yeah,
because I'm sure people were like, can you just say this into my phone? No.
Jerry Butler, he's another one his filmography is just like, look at you go, man. What a fucking career. Like I understand he's not, he's not like Anthony Hopkins, not like I respect Gerard Butler, but like what a great career. People would kill to have the career of Gerard Butler.
He gets to have so much fun.
Yeah, and he's probably so rich. He's probably so rich. He's in like the most ridiculous movies. He's been in good movies, so it's not like he's only been in crap. So like
he spent like 3 days on set for P.S. I Love You, and that's a fucking magical movie. And then he went and got to dress in a loincloth and kick a guy into a well screaming, "This is Sparta."
One of the most quoted lines in movie history.
100%.
What more do you need?
Oh my God. And then he was
all about the Oscars.
And then he's a misogynistic prick in The Ugly Truth. And still gets to make out with Katherine Heigl.
He's the sweatiest human being of all time in the movie Den of Thieves. I have never seen a character that sweaty.
I loved that movie. That movie was perfect. It was exactly what I needed at that time. I was like, I just want to watch a shoot 'em up bang bang film. And they're
wasn't a huge fan, but I did get to interview 50 Cent for it, which was one of the funniest conversations. I'm just like, when you're like talking to someone, you're just like, I'm talking to 50 Cent. In what world did I think I would be talking to 50 Cent? And he was like, really, it was like a good interview. I was just like, okay, nice. I was like, nice conversation, Mr. Cent. It was a good time.
Yeah, pretty much the feeling I had the first like few times I spoke with John Leguizamo when I first worked for him on Broadway. I was like, he would constantly just like stop in and talk to us. Oh, he's
great. He's on the list. If he shows up, I'm just like, fuck yeah, John Leguizamo's in this.
He's the best boss I've ever had in my life.
That
Like,
makes me happy.
oh my god, because we were on tour during the whole like Scorsese talking about like MCU movies as like not cinema, and like we went to the bar. I think we were in Detroit, and we ended up at the hotel bar having a drink, and we like got into this amazingly deep conversation about cinema and story and art versus entertainment, and like it was one of the most educational and intellectual things I've ever partaken in. And I just feel like, yeah, it's like that's a moment in life right there.
Him in Romeo plus Juliet is one of my favorite roles just of all time. I just
no one plays
iconic. That scene at the gas station. That scene is one of the best scenes of all time. One of the only public screenings I went to in LA is there was like a rooftop screening of Romeo plus Juliet, and I hadn't seen it in so long, and like the sun was going down. It was like one of my favorite nights in LA because that movie is. I don't watch that movie enough. I feel like because every time I watch it, I'm just like, it's amazing.
It gets you right here. But like honestly, what was it? One of the nights that we were, because I started working for the tour when it was based in LA. We were at the Amundsen for like 6 or 7 weeks. And one of the nights, Leo came in with his dad, and my 16-year-old heart stopped in my chest. And I was like, I am in the same building as Romeo and Tybalt. And I was like freaking out. And the show was like an hour and 45 minutes. It was a 1-act show. So there was no intermission. So it was like you sell at the beginning, you stock up and hang out during the show, and then you sell during walkout. And we would always have all these, actors or directors, producers, whatever, like special guests come in, and, the tour manager would come up and ask for gifts for them. And so he came up like right when the show started, and he goes, "Do you see who's here?" And I'm like, "Yeah, like I might be wetting myself." He goes, "Do you want to meet him after the show?" And I'm like, "Yes, I do, but I have to work. I have to sell here. I'm by myself tonight." And I was like, "You don't understand. Like, I like Leo, but I wanted a picture with Romeo and Tybalt."
That's because, when do you get the opportunity? When do you ever get the opportunity?
When you ever get these two people in one room? Like, oh my god, that's incredible. And so I told him I wrote off a hat, because Leo wears hats all the time, like to hide his face and everything. So I gave the hat to the tour manager, and I was like, "Hey, can you give this to him for me? Because I know he wears hats to hide his face, but like it's also a gift from John and all that stuff." And he came back after the show, or after we were done with walkout, and John had signed all the photos and taken all the photos and like signed all the books. And he goes, "Leo wanted me to let you know that he wanted to say thank you for the hat. He really liked it. And that was really thoughtful." And I was like,
"You're welcome, Leonardo DiCaprio."
You're welcome, Romeo.
I do love that movie.
It's just
I don't watch it enough, and it's funny because I like Moulin Rouge. Like that's a good movie, but like, I don't think Baz Luhrmann's ever done anything that I've loved as much as Romeo. Like I like him. I like he's made some good movies, but that movie to me is an all-timer.
Yeah, he has a good career. Like he's got a good filmography, but like, dude, Romeo plus Juliet is just, I think, the cream of the crop.
That was early too. So he like came out hot, and this was like, fuck, shoot. Yeah,
it was like he came out here, and then everything else was like just
like here, and it's just like you're still doing it, man, but you're not doing it like Romeo plus Juliet.
Yeah. All right, we don't have any more, and I feel like I need to cut you loose. I also have to pee like a pregnant woman.
It is past midnight.
Yeah, it is almost 1:00 your time. Or no, it's almost 12:30. So we'll do this real quick. My famous last question is from one of my favorite movies of all time, Almost Famous. It's the last question that William asks Russell, and it is: do you have to be happy to write a love song? Do you have to be sad to write a sad song? What is it that you love about music?
What is the love about music? To round back the story of me buying that CD at Sam Goody, I love that so much music that I love, like, brings you back to a moment in time. Like I even amongst the shit that we've been doing the past year, throw on a playlist that like reminds you of what 2001, and suddenly you're just like sitting there and it's fucking 2001. So like, you know, you don't love all the music that you listen to, but the music that you do love, it sticks with you in a way that's like where you feel everything you were feeling when you first heard that song. So that shit, that's like magic to me. That's movies and music to me are magic, because how else is something going to affect you that way? That's, you know, not actually affecting you personally. Yeah. So to me, the thing I love about music is that it is, you know, there is music that you just listen to at the gym and it's whatever, but there is music that exists that fucking, it becomes a part of you and then brings you back to the person you were when you first heard it. So that's magic. That's fun.
It's I agree 100%. Well, I just want to thank you so much for coming and hanging out this week. I
Anytime.
Adore you, and I'm sad that we don't get to see each other every Saturday.
One day we will be in the same room again.
I know. I'm so happy.
I don't know when that will be, but it will happen again
someday soon, hopefully. Well, tell the kids where they can find you and stalk you and all that fun stuff.
I'm at, what's my Twitter handle? My Twitter handle is Vinnie Mancuso 1. I hate whoever got Vinnie Mancuso, but he doesn't ever tweet. I check every so often, but I'm at Vinnie Mancuso 1, and I'm also on Collider.com every single day. Not everything I rate is good, but it's there every day. So if you want to see me, and I also hopefully we'll be back in the Schmodown soon. We'll see. It's
Fingers
a weird year.
We might get to see you on the free for all. You never know.
Put me on the fucking poster.
Brandy just tweeted out. It's like, for the love of God, Schmodown, put him on a damn poster.
Put me on a goddamn poster. Brandy. It's all I want. It's all I want.
Brandy, you are the absolute best. All right, well, you can find me at RM Silvestrini on Twitter and Instagram. Everything, all the links should be right down below. We are doing a watch along this month. It is actually this Sunday with Sean Sullivan. We are watching, of course, we're watching fucking Boondock Saints. Are you kidding? Have you met me? Of course, we're doing that and drinking probably copious amounts of whiskey. And then next week, funny enough, I have the one and only amazing Marisol McKee as my guest next week. Oh my God! Look at Conan. Hello, Snuggle. Look at that snaggle tooth. Oh my God, he's so beautiful. But yeah, so I've got Marisol next week. I'll have the thumbnail. I just found this picture of her. She is just obnoxiously beautiful. I think those are the first words I ever said to her. But yeah, come back next week. Hang out. I'll see you on Sunday at 7 p.m. I have to pee so bad, so we're gonna end this. And bye, guys.